Übrigens, wenn ihr mehr Infos über Disciples hören, haben und sehen und lesen wollt, am einfachsten auf unserer Internetseite www.disciples.de oder tagesaktuell immer auf unserer Facebook-Seite Haar Disciples. Einfach liken und ihr seht immer alles Neueste und Aktuellste über unser Verein, unsere Mannschaft und über alles, was das Baseball-Herz so begehrt.
Heute macht sie, ja.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the Sport Park Munich-Haar, where today the Solingen Alligators will take on the Haar Disciples in Game 1 of the 2015 quarterfinal series. This is a best-of-5 series, and the Alligators finished this year in second place behind Bonn in the north with a record of 21-3, while the Disciples finished in third place, their best ever in club history, with a record of 18-10. The Disciples will send right-hander Kevin Treisel to the mound, while Solingen will counter with veteran left-hander Andre Hughes. These two teams are meeting for the third straight year in the first round of the playoffs. Solingen has won 3-1 each of the two previous years. In fact, last year the Alligators, of course, went on to win the national championship. It was their second in franchise history, as they defeated the Heidenheim Heideköpf in a dramatic 4-game series. For Haar, today the big news is that they are without their key pitcher, closer, and long relief and starter / left fielder designated hitter, Lucas Steinlein. He will not be able to play in this game because he was ejected from the last game of the season against the Mannheim Tornadoes. The Disciples attempted to protest the ejection as they thought that it was unjustified. However, it was to no avail. So Steinlein is unavailable. Kevin Treisel who has gone 8 innings twice this year, is going to try to go as far as he can into this game and hopefully have a big lead because of that thin bullpen that the Disciples will be having for game 1. So he'll be on the mound for the Disciples. Andre Hughes on the mound for the Alligators. And what else do you need to know? Well, you need to know that the temperature is very hot. It's starting to cool off a little bit now, at least where we are. We're in the shade, but the players are in the sun, and it is 35 degrees Celsius, which is 95 Fahrenheit, as we get ready to begin this game. And you can see Mo Polixa and Tim Williford and Cedric Bossel handling the hose duties, getting the field ready. The field looks beautiful. The Disciples logo has been painted on the grass behind the cutout, behind home plate. That's a special occasion before the playoffs. My name is Tim Collins. I hope you will enjoy this broadcast, and I'm about as excited as you must be for this game, because I think we can expect a hard-fought, close, and well-played duel between these two very good ball clubs. There's a good crowd on hand today. And we also have a special guest who's going to throw out the first pitch. Tell you a little bit more about him. The special guest is Benny Meyer, 26-year-old free skier from Munich, lives in Innsbruck. And he's the special guest today, along with, I see we have some sort of funny mascot. There's a baseball guy wearing the Happy Baseball mascot. That's something. I'm going to get the camera over there. So we've got all sorts of special festivities as we are awaiting the beginning of today's game. I'll give you the lineups for the Disciples. They're going to have Treasel on the mound. Jose Palacios is catching. Josh Peterson is at third. Chris Ziegler at shortstop. Richard Klein, the second baseman. Mitch Stefan, the first baseman. Klaus Nicolici is in left field. Bruno Auenhammer in center. Ty Erickson in right. And we'll talk more about that as they take the field. Meanwhile, we're going to have the team lining up. These are the extras. Marcus Stritzek. There comes Marcus Stritzek. Chris Metzger, who will be tomorrow's starting pitcher. Carsten Schäfer. Johannes Weidemann.
Und mit 18 Luke 12. Luca Wolf. Mit der 55 Oskar Matzbreich. Weiter geht's mit der Starting Line. Mit der 37 im Centerfield Florian Götze.
And now the starting lineup.
Third base Dominic Wolf. Mit der 1 Second Base Tanner Layton. Die Nummer 9 auf Shortstop Daniel Sanchez. Die Nummer 27 als DH Nils Hankopf. Die Nummer 11 Right Field Sascha Brockmeier. Die Nummer 30 auf der First Base Dustin Ruders. Die 20 im Left Field Sascha Stevens. Die 31 hinter der Platte David Selsemeyer. Die 29 auf dem Mount André Juges. Und das alles unter der Leitung von Head Coach Norman Earhart.
Well, you can clearly hear that the Solingen fans are here. And here come the Haar Disciples on the other side.
Wir werden unterstützt von unserem Mr. Disciple. Und unsere Mannschaft läuft heute aufs Feld mit unseren Nachwuchsspielern. Und zuerst unser Ersatzspieler mit der Nummer 5, Politzer. Die 13, Selu Basel. Mit der 17, Gregor Glitz. Die 21, Dave Sandesius. Mit der Nummer 22, David Wallace. Die 29, Dennis Jegerowski. Die 33, Markus Durolf. Und die 56, Jan Enwert. Mit der 71, Pisti Bernd Radowitsch. Und jetzt machen wir weiter mit unseren Starting 9 am heutigen Spieltag. Playoff Baseball Bundesliga gegen die Solingen Alligators. Unsere Nummer 25, wieder für das Second Base, Richard Klein. Mit der Nummer 4 auf Position 2, Catcher, Jose Palacios. Schotzer mit der 27, Liga. Und auf Third Base mit der 19, Mr. Josh Peterson. Auf der First Base unter Hune 97 mit Stefan. Im Right Field die 16, unser Bierbatter des heutigen Tages, Ty Eriksson. Im Left Field mit der 99, Klaus Nicolici. Und im Center Field die Bruno Audama. Als die H mit der 37, Rufio Schulz. Und die 13 mit der Nummer 3 auf dem Mount, Kevin Fiegel. Das Ganze unter der Leitung von Mitch Stefan, Tim Wilford und Josh Peterson. Umpire des heutigen Tages, herzlich willkommen, Mark Major, Daniel Dibacco und Patrick Meister. So Freunde, und jetzt darf ich euch einen vorstellen, der macht auf Skiern alles, was man sich nicht vorstellen kann. Herzlich willkommen, Wiedemeyer! Der Mann hat die deutschen Farben bei Olympia 2014 in Sochi vertreten. Macht sonst alles, was man kaum aussprechen kann. Freestyle, Backcountry, Freestyle, Bigger, Slopestyle, also alles wirklich auf Schnee macht der junge Mann. Kommt aus München, blutjung und fährt einen rasanten Ski. Also Freunde, jetzt stehen wir kurz auf, singen die Nationalhymne. Vielen Dank. So, jetzt schauen wir mal, was der Bene so auf dem Buchhügel kann. Der José versucht, das Ding auf jeden Fall mal zu fangen. Oh, ja, die geh mal, das ist Strike, sauber. Vielen Dank. Und jetzt heißt's Playball. Und wir freuen uns auf Bundesliga Baseball at its best.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the festivities, you heard the intro. Now it's time for the lineups. For the Solingen Alligators, leading off and playing center field, Florian Götze. Dominic Wolf, the third baseman, bats second. Tanner Layton, the second baseman, bats third. Daniel Sanchez, the shortstop, bats sixth. Niels Hartkopf, the designated hitter, bats fifth. Sasha Brockmeyer, the right fielder, bats sixth. Dustin Hughes, the first baseman, bats seventh. Sasha Steffens, the left fielder, bats eighth. And David Selsemeyer, former Haar disciple, bats ninth. He is the catcher. As you see the meeting at home plate taking place between Norman Eberhardt on your right is the coach of the Alligators. Mitch Stefan on your left, the coach for the Disciples. Looks like Mark Major is the home plate umpire. With your back to you, the base umpires on the right is Daniel Dibacco. On the left is Patrick Meister. Meanwhile, the Disciples are going out there taking one more lap. Why not? It's about 900 degrees out. Let's go run around a little more. The Alligators are also doing the same thing. They're getting some extra workouts on the right side of the field, as you can see them. Very strange to see players out on the field during the meeting on the mound, but the ground rules are being discussed. And we are almost ready for baseball. Feels like we've been waiting for this one for a long time. This is a symmetrical ballpark just about down the left field line, 95 meters, 312 feet. In center field, it is quite far, 410 feet. They have a temporary fence that is set up. And down the right field line is a little bit further than it is to left, 98 meters. That's 322 feet. Center field is 410, 125 meters. So we have 2 American umpires and 1 German, although all 3 have lived in Germany for a long time. Mark Major lived in Germany for over 20 years, as I believe has Daniel DeBacco. So the Alligators are going to try to recreate their postseason magic from a year ago. Last year, this series between Haar and Solingen, with 3 very close games, 2 of which Solingen won, one that Haar won, and then there was the 3-0 absolutely dominant performance by Chris Metzger in the deciding Game 4, where he only allowed 1 base runner. He will be the Game 2 pitcher tomorrow. That's Richard Klein out there, behind Mitch Stefan, out at the shortstop position. He's stretching out his legs. Well, the handshakes appear to show that the meeting is over. And now Eberhard and Stefan return to their respective dugouts. It looks like the game is about ready to begin. The Disciples over on the left side by the home team dugout on the first base side. They're huddling. Meanwhile, the Alligators are doing the same thing over on their side, both of which are out of your picture. The Alligators with a record of 21 wins and 3 losses. Playing in the Bundesliga North. They had a team batting average of .297 this year, second behind Bonn. In fact, they were basically second behind Bonn in almost every statistical category, which would make sense considering they finished second. So we're just waiting for the home plate umpire. Looked like Mark Major is making his way out to home plate. The Disciples are getting their final cheer in, and they are now going to take the field. So we are almost ready for baseball. Kevin Treasel is going to get up on the mound for the Disciples. Right-hander who pitched 75 2/3 innings this year at a 4.16 ERA, but actually his ERA popped up quite a bit in the last few starts of the season. He had 2 bad starts, one against Mainz, one against Heidenheim. And then he refound his form against Mannheim last weekend, or a couple weeks ago. He struck out 11 Mannheim Tornadoes in 5 innings. And the Disciples had a huge lead in that game, so they took him out. So the last time he was on the rubber, he pitched pretty well. So he's going to try and keep that going here. Like I mentioned, he's going to face Florian Götze, Dominic Wolf, Tanner Layton, 1, 2, 3. As Florian Götze is going to step up there. Götze had a good year with power, hit 4 home runs. That at 253. However, Götze struck out 27 times. That is quite a bit in 83 plate appearances. 5 doubles and 3 triples. Once again, defensively for the Haar Disciples behind Kevin Treasel. The outfield looks somewhat different from what they have normally done. Because of Steinlein's ineligibility for this game, they're going to start Klaus Nicolici in left. Bruno Auernhammer is going to play in center, and Ty Erickson is in right. Normally Cedric Bossel is in center, but the Disciples are going for the offensive outfield, with Nicolici and Auernhammer the better offensive choice than Cedric Bossel. And I'm sure that's a choice Cedric made. So, it looks like we are about ready. Florian Götze, number 37, is going to step in. He's wearing the high green sock with the stripe going around the calf muscle. Muscular right-hand hitter, center fielder. He's going to step up there against Kevin Treasel. The playoffs are about to begin. Game 1 of the 2015 quarterfinal between Solingen and Haar begins right now. And the first pitch is a strike, 0-1. Fastball from Treasel. Josh Peterson up at the lip of the grass at third. And the Solingen fans begin. Here's the one-strike pitch, a little outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Solingen fans are known for their incessant, non-stop energy. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Breaking ball, beauty, strike 2, 1 and 2. Tell you more about Trees in a moment. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Let's look at that pitch on a replay. Florian Goetze looked like he chased an outside breaking pitch. Yes, he did. Down he goes. 1 down, and that will bring up Dominic Wolf. Treesel struck out 78 in 75 innings. Gave up 71 hits and 35 walks. So he's going to face Dominic Wolf. Dominic Wolf, the good doctor, batting .284. And the pitch, there's a strike, fastball right in there, 0-1. Wolf in 22 games had 102 plate appearances. Hit 1 home run. Slugged .358. 1 strike from Treesel to Wolf. And another fastball on the outside corner. 0-2. Treesel way out ahead. He's got that big, sharp breaking ball. And when he gets ahead of the hitter, he can make Wolf try to expand the zone. And he just missed. Wolf with a good take. That looked like the slider. Treesel has 2 different breaking balls. He's got a big curve ball and he's got a little slider, and that one looked like the second of the 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Check swing. He went around, strike 3. Dominic Wolf knew it. And Treesel has struck out the first 2 Alligators he's seen here. Take a look at that one on the replay. Another nasty breaking ball, and Dominic Wolf knew it. That was almost the same location as the previous pitch. So now Tanner Layton. Layton, who is by far the best hitter on the team, batted .465, 4 home runs. Slugged .753. And he swings and misses on a first pitch breaking ball. 0-1. Tanner Layton and Daniel Sanchez, the on-deck hitter, really were the motors for the Alligators. Those 2 guys were on base more than 50% of the time. 0-1. Fastball just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the first, just getting started. Kevin Treesel has struck out the first 2 Alligators he's faced. And he's got a 1-1 count to Layton. And he missed low. That looked like another breaking ball. Looked like so far nothing but off-speed pitches from Treesel to Layton. Layton has power. Sanchez not really a home run hitter on deck. Treesel might not want to give Layton anything good. 2-1 is hit on the ground to the right side. That's going to sneak through into right field for a base hit. So Tanner Layton grounds a single. It was a fastball. Looked like it was down and in. Take a look at it on the replay, a 2-1 pitch. Little weak ground ball that got past Richard Klein, but that one was in no man's land. No chance for Klein to cut it off. So now Layton on first. He's a threat to run. Daniel Sanchez, the hitter. Sanchez hit over 400, 405 to be exact. Hit 2 home runs, 1 666 doubles. That's 32 hits and 79 at bats. I wonder if Layton might take off here. Treesel with a long delivery to the plate. Layton with a short lead. And he's not going. The pitch to Sanchez is swung on and foul tipped into the mid of Palacios. Strike 1. Treesel might very well just focus on Sanchez, who's looking down at Norman Eberhardt, the 3rd base coach and head coach. Daniel Sanchez, native of Spain. Excellent defensive shortstop, and he is a pesky offensive player. And to throw to first, Layton was leaning, and he just barely got back. Boy, Tanner Layton was going on that pitch. And Daniel DeBacco right there to make the call. Let's look at the replay. You're probably not going to be able to tell, but Layton, his first step was towards second on that. Almost got picked. Treesel with a good, quick snap throw. 1 strike the count on Sanchez. Layton on first, being held on by Mitch Stefan. And the pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. That time Layton also was not going. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Tanner Layton on first, no score, top of the first inning. Solingen and Haar, game 1. Kevin Treasel with a 1-1 count to Sanchez. Long hold and the pitch. Popped up off the fists over the first base dugout. That's going to get out of play. Strike 2. Sanchez was late on a fastball that was tailing in on his hands and popped it up over the Alligators dugout. So Treasel is ahead of Sanchez, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if he decides to go to that big breaking ball or if he's going to try and go up the ladder with a fastball. Tanner Layton with 2 strikes might be more likely to run now on this pitch. Treasel comes set, 1-2. Layton not going. Check swing on a breaking ball. They're going to appeal. Did he go around? And Daniel DeBacco says no. It is ball 2. Looked to me like Sanchez held up. Look at the replay. But he tried that breaking ball down and away. Sanchez looked like he was expecting it. Came close, but he did not go. 2-2 the count. Layton the runner on first. Not going, the 2-2. That one is outside, 3-2 now. And now Layton will be going as the count is full with 2 outs. Waiting on deck, Nils Hartkopf. 3-2, and now Mitch Stefan is going to play behind Tanner Layton. See, he backs up. Treasel looking in for the sign. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. There goes the runner. The pitch hit on the ground over Treasel's head up the middle into center field. Layton's going to take the turn and go to third. He will be held there as Auernhammer gets the ball back in decline. So a couple of ground ball singles. And the Alligators have runners on first and third with 2 outs. That will bring up Nils Hartkopf. Hartkopf batted .260 this year. He did have a home run, 14 runs batted in, 3 doubles, 16 singles. That's 20 hits and 77 at-bats. So now you have Daniel Sanchez on first, who's a speedy runner. Well, Treasel's going to do well in this game. He's going to have to figure out a way to keep Layton and Sanchez off the bases. 2 outs, however, for Hartkopf and the pitch. Breaking ball, first pitch, and a good one, strike 1. Treasel struck out the first 2 hitters of the game, and then Layton rolled a single through the right side, and Sanchez bounced him up the middle. Alligators with first and third, nobody out, top of the first inning. Sanchez a short lead off first. There's the 1-strike pitch coming to Hartkopf. Fastball missed low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mills a right-hand hitter. Treasel right away in a jam. He got the first 2 outs very quickly, but he's going to try to strand the 2 runners. 1-1 the pitch. Breaking ball, little high and inside, 2-1. Treasel won in that one. Mark Major thought it was high and inside, so the count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Hartkopf. There's a big hole. Ziegler is shaded up the middle, so if Hartkopf pulls a ground ball, he could get it through the left side pretty easily. 2 balls and a strike to him. Here's the pitch. Grounded to the right side, just fouled on the line past Mitch Stefan. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hartkopf was late on a fastball. Maybe that's exactly the reason why Ziegler is playing him up the middle. They don't think he's going to get around on Treasel's fastball, which comes in at about the mid-80s. Has good movement. That one was tailing in on the hands of Hartkopf. So Treasel a strike away from getting out of this. Let's see what pitch he goes to here. He's gone to the curveball with 2 strikes so far earlier in the game, and now he steps off the mound as he wants the music off. A wise move by Treasel. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hartkopf, runners on first and third, 2 outs, top of the first, no score. The pitch, there goes Sanchez. The breaking ball is strike 3 called, and it doesn't matter, the inning is over. Treasel strikes out the side. Strands runners on first and third. No runs. 2 hits, 2 left. No errors. And at the end of a half inning of play, Solingen nothing. Haar coming to bat. All right, so Solingen did not score in the top of the first inning, and now they will take the field with the following formation. Andre Hughes, the left-hander in your pictures, on the mound. Catching, David Selsemeyer. Dominic Wolf is at third. Daniel Sanchez is at short. Tanner Layton at second. Dustin Hughes at first. Sasha Steffens is in left. Florian Gutze is in center. And Sasha Bruckmeyer is in right field. The Haar Disciples will send the following batting lineup. Richard Klein, the second baseman, leads off. Jose Palacios, the catcher, batting second. Chris Ziegler, the shortstop, hits third. Josh Peterson, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Mitch Stefan, the first baseman, bats fifth. Ty Erickson, the right fielder, bats sixth. Klaus Nicolici, the left fielder, bats seventh. Bruno Auernhammer, the center fielder, bats eighth. And Rufio Schultz, who could be a wild card in this game, is the designated hitter, batting ninth. Andre Hughes, this year, worked in tandem with Inorbal Marquez. He pitched in 47 games. He only started 5, ERA of 2.49. 37 strikeouts in 47 innings. He only walked 11. Gave up only 13 earned runs. So here's Richard Klein, going to step in against Andre Hughes, who works exclusively from the stretch, and the first pitch is a strike. And that's what Hughes' bread and butter is throwing strikes. He is 30 years old. He's played for the national team. He's been a Solingen Alligator since 2002, and he deals the breaking ball, strike 2 on Klein. No balls and 2 strikes. Klein, who had been battling some injuries, is back in there. He's hitting at .327. Very good first year with Haar. This one is a changeup away and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Klein with 20 runs scored. He drove in 9. Had 9 doubles out of his 34 hits in 104 at-bats. 1 and 2 from Andre Hughes. Tapped weakly on the ground up the middle. Tanner Layton to his right, gloves it and throws to first. In time, there's 1 down.
Roundout gegen die Disciples, somit am Schlag.
And that's what Andre Hughes does. He lulls you to sleep. He does not throw hard. He, in fact, throws slower, and slowest. And that last pitch looked like the slowest one from Andre Hughes. So that will bring up Jose Palacios. First pitch, outside, ball 1. We are in the bottom of the first inning. No score in the game. Solingen and Haar, game 1. Game 2 will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Palacios hits a ground ball up the middle. This one fielded by Sanchez to the left of second. His throw to first is in time, 2 down. So Hughes has thrown 6 pitches and gotten the first 2 men out. And that will bring up Chris Ziegler. Palacios had been hitting at .343, and now Ziegler, who's at .327. Ziegler, a career best 4 home runs on the year. Left-hand hitter against the left-handed Hughes. And he's going to take his place in the batter's box with 2 outs and nobody on base. First pitch, fastball strike at the knees, 0-1. Hughes has not gone more than 6 innings in a game this year. That was against Cologne. There's a little flare to short left field, and Steffens is back, twists under it, and makes the catch. So Ziegler flies out very quickly, and the inning is over on about 8 pitches, I think it was. Andre Hughes sends the Disciples down in order. We will go to the top of the second inning, no score.
Nächster Schlagmann für die
All right,
Alligators.
folks, we are back to the top of the second inning. No score. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Sascha Brockmeyer, Dustin Hughes, and Sascha Steffens. After that, if anyone should get on, David Selsemeyer. Solingen stranded 2 runners in the first inning. Leighton had singled and Sanchez had singled, but then Treisel struck out Hartkopf to end the inning and end the threat. So he's going to deal with Sascha Brockmeyer now as we begin play. In the second, the first pitch. Fastball inside, ball 1. Sascha Brockmeyer, who is 24 years old, he's actually a policeman. So the Solingen Alligators have a policeman and a doctor on their team. There's the 1-1-0 pitch. That one fouled right off of Mark Major's right shoulder. And he's going to take a little walk in the sun. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Brockmeyer, who was formerly of the Untouchables Paderborn, was transferred actually after the Alligators had played their first weekend. And there's a nice round of applause for Mark Major as he took that squarely off of his right shoulder area. And he's back in there. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Sascha Brockmeyer. After Brockmeyer, Dustin Hughes and Sascha Steffens. Treisel getting the sign from Palacios, who sets up the target outside, the 1-1 pitch. Check swing, and he went too far. Strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Treisel struck out the side in the first. I mentioned his last start in Mannheim, he pitched 5 innings and struck out 11. Although strikeouts can get the pitch count up. On a day like today, there's a breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Day like today, Treisel might want to get some easy early count outs, similarly to how Andre Hughes retired the side on about 10 pitches, I believe it was, in the first inning. Temperatures up around 35 Celsius. Breaking ball popped up foul right over my head. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So, bei dem schrecklichen Geräusch alle mal nach oben gucken, dann könnte ein Cowboy geflogen kommen, wenn ich es rechtzeitig schaffe.
The Alligators, who had 2 hits in the first inning, they were both just little ground balls. Nothing hit very hard off of Treisel. But that's a skill to put the ball in play. And it's Leighton and Sanchez, of course, who did it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on foul, tipped off of Palacios' mask and ricochets off to the left. So Brockmeyer, who's got a very waggly swing, stays alive to see another pitch. Brockmeyer, a lanky right-hand hitter, wears the number 11. Going with the batting gloves. He's got the pant leg going all the way down to the shoe. Some guys do the high sock look. 2-2 to Brockmeyer. This one in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and now Brockmeyer has worked the count full. Kevin Treisel, the 23-year-old Munich native, made the national team for the first time this year. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, foul off to the right. That's out of play. Still 3-2. That was a fastball. Treisel going with number 1. And a whole bunch of kids. Normally there's only about 3 or 4 kids running after the foul balls. I see about 8 going after that one. So playoff intensity is here. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Brockmeyer. Hit off the end of the bat towards the right center field alleyway. Auernhammer, a long run. He's not going to get there. It lands for a base hit. And Brockmeyer dunks a single in to lead things off here for the Alligators. I'm not sure if Cedric Bossel would get to that ball or not. Brockmeyer did not hit it that well. Actually, I said he hit it off the end of the bat. I think he hit it off the handle of the bat more than the end of the bat. So he's at first, leading things off. Third base hit for the Solingen Alligators. And that'll bring up Dustin Hughes. Hughes batted .289 this year. 1 triple, 8 doubles, 22 hits and 76 at bats. Brockmeyer a very short lead on first base. Infield back and looking for a double play ground ball off the bat of Hughes. Here's the pitch. Popped up foul off to the right, strike 1. Hughes looking down to Norman Eberhardt for the sign. It's the top of the second inning, no score. Solingen Alligators. And and the Haar Disciples. Solingen, the reigning German baseball champions. 1 strike to count on Dustin Hughes. Runner on first. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and a big swing by Dustin Hughes at that. He comes up empty. Hughes was trying to launch one, and he is now behind 0-2. And he takes his time, steps out of the box, looks at Eberhardt with 2 strikes. You wonder if Brockmeyer is also looking intently down at the third base coach. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fastball is high. Treasel really let that one go. He had thrown a couple of breaking balls with 2 strikes, but this time he went to the fastball up. Now we count 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll see if Eberhardt decides to send the runner. Sascha Brockmeyer is on first. There's nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dustin Hughes. Treasel getting the sign from Palacios. Now he has it. He comes set. Runner not going. Pitch. Just missed. Another fastball. 2-2. 4 fastballs. And now the count is even. Treasel has not yet shown that breaking ball to Dustin Hughes. 2-2. Here's the set from Treasel. And the 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Now Brockmeyer fouled off about 3 or 4 pitches to the right. Hughes has fouled a couple off. That's something if the Alligators can continue to do, it forces Treasel to work more. It's a hot, hot afternoon. And although the time is coming up around 5 o'clock, it's actually hotter now than it was about 3 hours ago. So the longer Treasel has to stand out there, the harder he's got to work. 2-2. Runner going. Swing and a miss. And the throw to second base is not in time. However, Hughes is out. Striking out. Treasel has struck out 4 in the game. Stolen base for Sascha Brockmeyer. And I'm going to look at that replay. I wonder if Hughes might have interfered with Palacios' throw after he swung and missed. You can see he left the batter's box, and he's actually not supposed to do that. No call, no protest really from Palacios, who looked like he had to hesitate just a little bit. So anyway, there's 1 out. The runner at second base is Brockmeyer, and the batter now, Sascha Steffens. Steffens hit .326, although in limited playing time, that's only 14 for 43. He's got the game's first run on second base. The pitch, fastball is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Steffens, the number 8 hitter. Sascha Brockmeyer led off with a pop fly single. He then stole second base. There's a fastball right in there, strike 1, 1-1. There's 1 out. We're in the top of the second. No score. Sascha Brockmeyer off second base. There's a 1-1 to Steffens. Breaking ball. Strike 2. A good one. And that's a key for Treasel to be able to throw that pitch for a strike before he gets to 2 strikes, because if the Alligators can sit on the fastball, it makes it a lot tougher. It makes it a lot easier to hit it, rather. So that was a big pitch for Treasel. He needs to establish that breaking ball for a strike early in the count. There's a 1-2. Line drive right field, and it is going to drop in front of Eriksson. Coming around is Brockmeyer. He's going to be waved to the plate and score. Eriksson pulled up at the last moment. I think he could have caught that ball. Solingen leads 1-0, but Eriksson, who didn't want to risk letting the ball go behind him for an extra base hit, lets it drop, and that's a base hit and an RBI for Sascha Steffens. And Solingen leads 1-0. Take a look at the replay. Good piece of hitting by Sascha Steffens. It looked like it was a breaking ball, and he just went with it. Eriksson charging in, looking into the sun. Didn't quite get a good read on it. So Solingen takes a 1-0 lead, and now David Selsemeyer, the number 9 hitter, with Steffens at first. Selsemeyer takes ball 1 inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Selsemeyer, of course, is no stranger in these parts. He has gone back and forth between Haar and Solingen in the last 3 years. And a throw to first. Steffens is back. There's one out in the inning. Treisel working from the stretch. Steffens at first, not going. The pitch is a ball, and he just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch, Palacios was set up inside and had to reach across the outer half to glove it. And that might have cost Treisel a strike call. Count is 2-0. Selsemeyer with an open stance. And now 3 balls and no strikes. Treisel trying a breaking ball on a 2-0 count. And he fell behind. 3 balls and no strikes. Treisel comes set. There's a 3-0. There's a strike, a throw behind the runner at first, but Steffens is back. Stefan didn't really apply the tag. So 3-1 now on Selsemeyer. The top of the order, Florian Goetze is on deck. Treisel has given up 4 hits and a run, but he's also struck out 4. And the 3-1. Selsemeyer trying to bunts through it. And the count now 3-2. Interesting with the 3-1 count that Selsemeyer would try to bunt. I'm not sure if he was doing that on his own or if that was called by Eberhard. Somehow I'd have to think that was on his own. So now 3-2. You wonder if Steffens, the runner at first, is going to take off. Not going. Popped up, right side, foul ground, a long run for Eriksson, Klein, and Stefan, and it's going to be actually over the fence and out of play. And there go the kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. And it looks like the kid in the red and black Disciples jersey is going to get there first. An excellent running play by a youngster down the right field line. That was really a 100-yard dash. Count still 3-2, however, on Selsemeyer. Steffens, the runner at first. 1 out. 1-0 Solingen. Here's the pitch. Runner not going. Check swing, ball 4. Treisel going to the breaking ball, and he missed. And a good at bat for Selsemeyer. He draws a walk. That's the first walk issued by Kevin Treisel. And now the top of the order, and it's what could be a turning point in the game. Remember, Treisel has to go as deep as really he possibly can in this game for the Disciples to have much of a chance because of the ejection to Steinlein, who is ineligible. The bullpen is thin. My guess is that Bruno Auernheimer would be the first one to come in relief. So now first and second, the top of the order, Florian Goetze, who struck out in his first at-bat. And he swings, and it's a fly ball to right center field. Eriksson is going back. The runners are tagging. Eriksson has a play. He makes the catch. Here's the throw to third base. They've got a chance. The throw, the tag. He is out. It's a double play. And that will end the inning. Eriksson to Klein to Peterson, and the inning is over. A double play. So Goetze flies out for the second out of the inning. And Steffens is thrown out 9 to 4 to 5. Let's look at that one on the replay. The inning ends. Let's take a look at this. It was the first pitch, fastball. Goetze hit it off the end of the bat. Eriksson went back. He set himself perfectly. The runners were tagging. He made the catch. The runner took off for third. Actually, it was Ziegler's relay throw. And his throw was perfect, and Patrick Meister with the call. The inning is over. At the end of 1.5, 1-0 Solingen. All right, we're back, folks. Bottom of the second inning. And it's going to be 4, 5, 6. Josh Peterson, Mitch Stefan, and Ty Erickson coming up against Andre Hughes. The Alligators got a run on 2 hits in that last inning, and they left 1 base runner. Remember, Stefan's being thrown out at third, so he was erased. So now Andre Hughes goes to work with the lead, and Josh Peterson takes ball 1. Peterson this year had another fantastic year in a Haar Disciples uniform. Give you his numbers after the next pitch. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Hughes outside, 2-0. And I'm imagining that Hughes is going to stay away from Josh. Josh batted .410, 6 home runs, 23 runs batted in, 48 hits, and 117 at-bats. And he rockets one down the third baseline foul. A little too quick, was he? 2 balls and a strike. Josh, who has 6 home runs this year, hit 5 the year before, 7 in 2013 and 2 in 2012. So he's 1 behind his Bundesliga best in this, his 4th year with the Haar Disciples. Keeps coming back. He loves the city of Munich, and who could blame him? Here's the 2-1. That one is low, 3-1. Infielders are back and deep, as is the outfield. Florian Goetze is playing out of sight and center, and there's a 5-pitch walk to Josh Peterson. Andre Hughes wanting nothing to do with the right-handed hitter, so he puts him on, and that will bring up Mitch Stefan. So Mitch batted .303 this year. Mitch had 2 home runs, 23 runs batted in, 3 doubles. OPS of .777, so he's been a productive hitter for the Disciples. He and Josh, of course, taking on the role, and he's showing bunt. And he takes a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The on-deck hitter is Ty Erickson. This is a Disciples lineup that is much more balanced than it was a year ago because of Erickson and Palacios. 1 ball the count. Swung on a slicing fly ball to left field. Steffens moves about 10 steps to his left and makes the catch, to his right rather. And Stefan flies out, 1 down. That'll bring up Ty Erickson. Erickson batted .280 this year. He had some power, 2 home runs, a triple, 9 doubles, 28 hits, and 100 at-bats. So now Peterson, the runner at first, with 1 out. Hughes, who only threw, I think, 10 pitches in the first inning, is dealing to Erickson, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Andre Hughes is one of those guys who is extremely frustrating for hitters because he does not throw hard, and hitters always go up there confidently, and they walk back to the dugout just as confidently with an offer as he came set and then stepped off. So Erickson might be a good matchup for Hughes because Ty has a propensity to hit the ball to right field a lot, and that's the type of approach you need against an off-speed pitcher. Throw to first behind Peterson, who was practically standing on the bag. Josh Peterson walked. Stefan flied out. There's 1 out. It is 1-0 Solingen. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and the pitch to Erickson in the dirt. Good scoop by Selsenmeyer. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dominic Wolf, the third baseman, is playing off the line. Daniel Sanchez is shading Erickson up the middle. Leighton playing in normal position on the right side, although shallow. Runner not going. The pitch, fly ball to right field. Going back on this one is Brookmeyer, and this one is going to be caught by Brookmeyer as he circles under it. Peterson way off the bag, has to get back to the first, and the throw is just barely in time. Not in time, rather. Peterson gets back safe. Brookmeyer looked for a moment like he lost that ball in the sun and wasn't going to catch it. Peterson was almost fooled and almost got doubled off. You could see Josh going halfway and then deciding that Brookmeyer is not going to get it, and then he had to slam on the brakes and race back after Brookmeyer made the catch. The ball's tailing away from him. Peterson with a pretty late slide getting back into the base, but he's there. So now Klaus Nicolici. Nicolici, in limited playing time this year, batted .333. That's 8 for 24. So he's up there trying to keep the rally going with 2 outs. The first pitch, Andre Hughes ahead, strike 1. And that looked like a fastball from Hughes. And that first pitch, not a high velocity, but his other pitches are much slower, like that one, tapped weakly foul off to the left, strike 2. When he's got a fastball that he shows you, it makes the off-speed pitches that much harder to time, and he's deceptive with his motion. He comes set and he sort of short arms the ball to the plate almost, working from the first base side of the rubber. Josh Peterson is a slow runner at first, and the pitch swung on and tapped foul again. Nicolici again with an off-speed pitch. Oh, and 2 the count to Klaus. And that's why I mentioned an approach against a pitcher like Hughes is you got to try to hit the ball the opposite way. Here's the 0-2. Tapped weakly on the ground towards third. Dominic Wolf has it. He's got a lot of time to throw to first, and he does in time, and the inning is over. 5-3 on the putout. So no runs, no hits, 1 left on base, no errors. At the end of 2, it is Solingen 1, Haar nothing. We are back for the top of the 3rd inning. Kevin Treasel will take the mound. And he is going to face 2-3-4, Dominic Wolf, Tanner Layton, and Daniel Sanchez. Solingen with 1-0 lead. First pitch, hit sharply on the ground to Ziegler on a couple hops. He throws to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Aus der Mainz, Chris Ziegler, Shortstop. So wird's gemacht. Nächster Schlagmann mit Nummer 1, Tanner Layton.
That'll bring up Tanner Layton. Layton grounded a single through the right side his first time. He's 1 for 1. He was stranded on third base. Here's the pitch to him, and he shows bunt, takes a strike, 0-1. Treasel faced 5 hitters in the first, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second. He was helped out by that excellent double play, the combination of Ty Erickson throwing from right field to Ziegler to Peterson, cutting down Sasha Steffens. And strike 2 on Tanner Layton, 0-2. That ended the 3rd inning and also put an end to the rally that Solingen had going. They had runners on first and second with 1 out after having scored a run. There's the 0-2 to Layton. Breaking ball down and in, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. After Layton, Daniel Sanchez. Treasel trying to have a quick inning. He's going to need a few of those. Here's the 1-2. Line drive down the left field line, tailing foul. But that was a heck of a piece of hitting by Layton. He waited on a breaking ball and slapped it the other way. Nicolici would have had about a mile to run to get that one. Layton recognizing the breaking ball. Look at how far over Nicolici is. Nicolici is playing Leighton in the left center field gap. He's going to move over a few steps now, but he's still playing Leighton to pull. There's a big gap in right center field, however. 1-2 to Tanner. The pitch on the way from Treasel is outside, way outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out, nobody on. Top of the third. Fastball, strike three called. Leighton not happy. But the Haar fans sure are, and there are two down. That is strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Kevin Treasel. Got him with the fastball. And now two outs. Daniel Sanchez will come up. Sanchez grounded a single over Treasel's head his first time. So he's 1 for 1. Treasel has struck out 5, walked 1, and given up 4 hits so far in the game. Here's the pitch to Daniel Sanchez. Breaking ball, first pitch outside, ball 1. So Treasel trying to throw that breaking ball at any point. He threw it on 3-0 if I remember correctly, or 3-1. Could be misremembering. Here's the 1-0, fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sanchez, who's got a very short, quick, wristy swing. He flicks the bat with great force at the ball. Excellent defensive and offensive player, Daniel Sanchez. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to him. Very wide open stance. Fly ball, right center field and deep. Erickson is backing up. Looks like he's got to play in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch. The inning is over as Sanchez flies out. 1, 2, 3 for Kevin Treasel. No runs, no hits, no errors. At the end of 2.5, it is Solingen 1, Haar nothing. We are back, bottom of the third inning. It'll be 9-1-2, Bruno Auernhammer, Rufio Schultz, and then top of the order, Richard Klein against Andre Hughes. Hughes, through 2 innings, has only thrown 22 pitches, 14 of which have been strikes. He's gotten 3 groundouts and 3 flyouts, and that's his game. So now Bruno Auernhammer. Bruno batted .240 this year, 12 hits and 50 at-bats, and the first pitch, ball 1. Bruno, whose father, Stefan, is watching the game from an airplane in the sky. And he takes a ball, 2 balls, and no strikes. Want to give a shout out to Stefan, Bruno's dad, watching from somewhere in the air. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's a strike, 2 balls, and 1 strike on Auernhammer. Auernhammer, who studies biology, wants to become a doctor at LaGrange College in Georgia. 2-1 pitch, low and inside, 3-1. Hughes has allowed 1 base runner. That was the quote-unquote unintentional walk to Josh Peterson. But it was pretty obvious he wanted nothing to do with Josh. 3-1. Tapped weakly down the third baseline, foul. And the count now full, 3-2. Here it comes. Grounded to the left side, and it get past everybody into left field, a base hit. Past the dive of Wolf and past the dive of Daniel Sanchez. A little seeing eye ground ball single. First base hit for the Disciples. So Bruno is aboard, and that will bring up Rufio Schultz. Schultz, who did not have much playing time this year, batted only 176 in 41 plate appearances. However, he is a wild card, and he could be a big factor in this game. He's a quality hitter, good line drive hitter. He shows bunt, and the pitch is missed for a strike. As Selsamar popped up out of his crouch thinking to throw behind Auernhammer. Of course, Rufio in this situation most likely will be called on to bunt, but should he not get it down, or should they turn him loose, there's certainly no question that he is capable of putting the bat on the ball. There's the pitch, and a throw to first. And Rufio gave away the bunt on that again, although it was not a big surprise anyway to the Alligators, as Dominic Wolf, the third baseman, is already up on the edge of the grass. The pitch is a ball. As Rufio pulled it back, the pitch up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Both Hughes from first and Wolf from third charging in on that. And Andre Hughes, the pitcher, was signaling towards the score box. I think he was upset that the music was still playing while he was on the mound. Trying to pitch. 1-1 pitch. And this one bunted foul at the plate. And now Rufio has failed to lay the bunt down twice, and he most likely will be turned loose here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, Richard Klein. Nobody out. We are in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Solingen, game 1 of the 2015 quarterfinals. Andre Hughes, the left-hander, veteran on the mound, getting a sign from David Selsamar. 1-2 to Rufio Schultz. Big breaking ball, high and outside, 2-2. No sign of the bunt on that one. Infielders are now back. And the pitch. High pop-up. Shallow right center field. Everybody's shading their eyes from it. The right fielder, Brockmeyer, calls in, makes the catch. And Auernhammer has to return to first. So Schultz is out, fly out to the right fielder. And now the top of the order, Richard Klein. Klein grounded out weakly to second his first time. Well, we'll see what the Disciples can do the second time around against Andre Hughes. Hughes is the ultimate pitch-to-contact guy. If he gets another ground ball of the same variety that Klein hit the first time, they could turn a double play. There's a fastball strike to Klein, 0-1. Klein was looking for something soft, I think, on that first pitch. And Hughes crossed him up, throwing a high fastball. Bruno Auernhammer, the runner at first, and a lob toss over there as Hughes just checking in, letting Auernhammer know he remembers he's there. Hughes is trying to work as quickly as he possibly can. He just comes set and quick pitches. Check swing, Klein went around. He's behind 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 on Richard Klein. 1 out. Auernhammer, the runner on first. He singled. There's 1 out in the inning. This time a longer hold by Hughes. And he just maintains holding the ball, and Klein asks for time. Mark Major grants it. So Hughes probably thinking maybe Auernhammer might be on the run with 2 strikes. Hughes varying his time with which he holds the ball. That's a mechanism designed to throw the timing of the base runner off. Now he comes set and deals. There's a line drive into center field, a base hit. And Hughes, angry at himself, he knew he left a fat fastball over the center of the plate, and Richie Klein did not miss it. That ball was ripped up the middle. Auernhammer advances to second base, and now Jose Palacios, as you look at the replay, watch Andre Hughes' reaction as this ball sails past him. He knew he made a mistake. That pitch was too good. With 2 strikes, he came in with an off-speed pitch. It was right over the heart of the plate. So now, 2 on with 1 out for Jose Palacios. Palacios grounded out his first time. Runners on first and second. Bruno Auernhammer representing the tying run. He is at second base. And Klein, the go-ahead run, is at first. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Energy level is high and the ballpark is packed. This is the biggest crowd I've seen here yet this year. Andre Hughes looking in for the sign, gets it from Selsemeyer. Here's the pitch to Palacios, and it's high. 1 ball, no strikes. Inning began with a ground ball single to Bruno Auernhammer, a little bleeder through the left side. There's the 1-0, and that one's way outside, 2-0. Then Schultz popped out to right field. Then Richard Klein on an 0-2 pitch lined a solid single into center field. So Klein is at first, Auernhammer is at second. There's 1 out, 2-0 on Palacios. And now 3-0. Selsemeyer trying to pull that ball back in, not getting the call. And Hughes working himself into a jam with Chris Ziegler on deck. 3 balls and no strikes to Jose Palacios, the native of Argentina. And a 4-pitch walk loads the bases. That's the second walk issued by Andre Hughes, but I have to think that one was not intentional. So here's Chris Ziegler with the bases loaded and 1 out. Remember, Hughes walked Peterson. That looked like a pitch around, but that time with runners on first and second, you know Hughes didn't want to pitch around Palacios. Here's Ziegler. Ziegler flied out to left his first time. Bases loaded. Breaking ball. First pitch is high. Ball 1. And now Ziegler in the driver's seat. He can look for a pitch to Spank. Outfield deep and swung around to right, with the exception of Steffens in left field, who is playing very shallow. And there's a high drive to deep center field. Going back is Goods. He's going to probably make the catch. Tagging from third is Auernhammer. He's going to score. The throw goes to third base. The play is out at third base. The run scores. The game is tied, however. The throw to third. Oh, the game is not tied. They're going to say the run does not count because the out at third was made before the run crossed the plate. So Ziegler flies out. Let's take a look at this on the replay. Does the runner from third score before the out at third? It looks to me like the out at third was actually before the run crossed home plate. It looked like a good call by the umpires. Well, the game looked for a moment like it was going to be tied. Auernhammer does not come home and score. Klein is thrown out trying to go to third. Ziegler flies out with the bases loaded. Boy, we've had a couple of runners thrown out at third base in this game. And Florian Goetze with an excellent throw to cut down Richard Klein at third for the third out of the inning. No runs on 2 hits. 2 men left on base, no errors. And at the end of 3, 1-0 Solingen.
Also, macht nichts. Wir sind dran. Die Disciples Offense ist aufgewacht im 3. Inning. Zwar noch nicht rausgekommen, aber das wird schon. 1:0 immer noch für die Ellis. Hier kommen's für dich. So, und wir haben hier natürlich alle technischen Mittelchen zur Verfügung und haben das gerade hier auf unserem Disciples TV in Slow-Mo nachgeschaut und die Umpire liegen vollkommen richtig. Was will man da sagen? Ich weiß gar nicht, ob das erlaubt ist. Beim Fußball ist ja nicht erlaubt, gell? Macht nichts. Wir nehmen die Technik zu Rate. So, weiter geht's. Hier oben mit der 27 Meter.
Well, we are back for the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Solingen on a great throw by Florian Goetze in center field. And the first pitch is a strike to Nils Hartkopf. Florian Götze catching the fly ball from Ziegler and throwing on the fly to Dominic Wolf at third to tag out Richard Klein, and it was just barely before Auernhammer scored. Therefore, the run did not count. Then the inning is over. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So we've had 2 runners thrown out at third base for inning-ending double plays, but that one with a huge implication. That fly ball would have tied the game had Klein up and thrown out at third. Fastball strike 2 over the outside corner, 1-2. Treasel with 3 fastballs. It looked for sure like Hughes was going to be in a big mess, but the outfield arm of Florian Götze bails him out. Here's a 1-2, breaking ball. Soft line drive to center field, drops for a base hit. Nils Hardkoff leads things off with a little jam shot up the middle into center field. And it is a leadoff single for Solingen. Hit number 5 for the Alligators. Treasel has walked 1 and struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Treasel has thrown 63 pitches already, although the sun is now starting to leave the field of play, so it's not going to be as harsh out there on the field in these high temperatures. So now Sascha Brockmeyer. Nils Hardkoff on first base with a short lead. Brockmeyer showing bunt, and he pushes it in front of the plate. It is fielded by Palacios. He's going to throw to first in time for the out. That'll move Hardkoff to second.
Sascha Brockmeyer, der unser Catcher, Jose Palacios und am Schlag 35, das Gute.
Norman Eberhardt is a known fan of small ball, and that's something you can do when you have base runners all the time. The Alligators as a team have a .411 on-base percentage, so not a lot of power. They only hit 15 home runs as a team. That led that was second rather in the Bundesliga North. But their game is get him on, get him over, get him in. Runner on second base with 1 out. Dustin Hughes is the hitter. He struck out his first time. Hardkoff off second base, fouled to the screen, strike 1. Treasel had a 1-2-3 inning in the third. There's the 0-1 pitch coming to Dustin Hughes. That one outside, backhanded by Palacios, 1 ball, 1 strike. You can hear the Solingen fans chanting Dustin Hughes. Hughes is one of the nicknames for both Dustin and Andre. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nils Hardkoff off second base. That's a big run for the Alligators. The pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt and blocked by Palacios. He kept it in front of him. Hardkoff staying put at second base. 2-1. Hardkoff off second base. He led off the inning with a single, was sacrificed there. Now he's there with 1 out. 2-1 on Hughes. Fastball way outside, and now 3-1. Treasel has missed his release point in this inning by a wider margin than he has up to this point. Remember, it's a hot, humid afternoon, and now the sun comes back out. It's a tough outfield sun as well. 3-1. Ball 4. Well, the second walk issued for Treasel. If there's a silver lining, it sets up a double play, as Dustin Hughes will take first base. Nils Hardkoff still the runner out at second. And the batter now, Sascha Steffens. Steffens singled and drove in the game's only run. He was later thrown out at third base, trying to advance on a fly ball. That ended the second inning. First and second with 1 out. Treasel wants a ground ball desperately. Here's the pitch to Steffens. Fastball missed, ball 1. A little bit of restlessness beginning to set in here with the fans in Haar. 1 ball, no strikes the count to Steffens. Runners leading first and second. And this one outside and low, 2-0. And now Treasel is earning a trip to the mound from Palacios. Palacios is going to go out there and just remind him to stay relaxed, most likely, and find his release point. Meanwhile, Norm Eberhard is going to have a chat with Sasha Steffens. The number 9 hitter, David Selsemeyer, is on deck. So Treisel has not really looked out of whack. He's given up some singles in this game, but this is the first series of hitters with which he has looked like he has lost his release point. He has been around the plate, but now he's 2-0 on Sasha Steffens. After having walked Dustin Hughes. Hartkopf and Hughes, the base runners. There's the 2-0 pitch coming to Steffens. Fastball strike, and Palacios thinking about throwing behind Hughes down the first baseline, but Hughes was not very far off the bag. 2 balls and a strike to count now from Treisel to Steffens. Two and one. Fastball up and in, 3 balls and a strike now. As Steffens does not really appear to be ready to swing. He's just waiting out Treisel, trying to make Treisel prove that he can throw a strike. 3-1. Sometimes you'll see a catcher call for a breaking ball when a pitcher is having trouble throwing the fastball for strikes, as Treisel has had for the last 2 hitters. 3-1. Ball 4. Treisel missing badly. And now the bases are loaded. Hartkopf will go to third. Hughes goes to second, and Steffens goes to first. Number 9 hitter, David Selsemeyer, will step up to the mound, and now Gabe Sandersius, the pitching coach, is going to go out and have a chat with Kevin Treisel. Mitch Stefan, the trainer, also coming in to chat with his right-hander. David Selsemeyer is going to be the hitter. Treisel has played with the Disciples since 2008. He's also played with the junior national team. He was a position player originally, but he's been pitching exclusively since 2012. Born March 17th, 1993, so he is 22 years old. 1 m 78 kilos, which is about 6 feet. 172 pounds. The meeting now is over. So Treisel is going to have to deal with David Selsemeyer. Selsemeyer, who is 24 years of age, played for Gauting, Würzburg, Fürth, Mannheim, and Solingen. He's up there with the bases loaded and 1 out. The Disciples will play the corner infielders in and the middle infielders back, looking for a ground ball double play. Selsemeyer up there, first pitch, ball 1, and a good save by Palacios as Treisel overthrew that one. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, this is Treisel's game for a long time. He has walked 2 in the inning and given up a single. The bases are loaded. Hartkopf at third, Hughes at second, Steffens at first. Treisel from the windup. Fastball missed low, 2-0. Well, the Disciples had the bases loaded in the bottom of the third and were turned away. Can Kevin Treisel do the same thing here for the Alligators, who lead 1-0? The 2-0 pitch. Fastball strike, a throw behind the runner, and he is out! They got a pickoff play at first. Daniel DeBacco right there, and Sasha Steffens has been picked off. There are 2 outs. What a huge play. Steffens is out 2-3. A huge throw by Jose Palacios. The pitch was a strike. And on one play, this whole inning could change. Stefan receiving the throw, a light argument by Steffens, but Daniel DeBacco right there punches him out. There are 2 down. The infield can now come back. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning, runners on second and third. Boy, some huge plays in this game for both sides. That's another one. Kevin Treisel can now go from the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Selsemeyer. Strike 2. And Treisel, with newfound life, has evened the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sasha Steffens with a base running boo-boo. He got too far off the bag, and Palacios picked him off. Hartkopf and Hughes, the runners on second and third. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kevin Treasel, with the help of Jose Palacios, escapes a huge jam. And the inning is over. Solingen does not score. No runs. 1 hit, 2 left. No errors. A great throw from Palacios. And so far, we got a great game. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Solingen.
So, liebe Baseballfreunde, und jetzt schauen wir da mal wieder in die anderen Stadien. Da hat schon die erste faustdicke Überraschung in den Playoffs gegeben, komme ich gleich dazu. Also, im Norden Playdowns. Hannover hat dort mit 9:7 geschlagen, Bad Homburg schlägt Stuttgart mit 10:1 und Mannheim knallt Tübingen mit 13:0 vom Feld. Jetzt gehen wir in die Playoffs. Da gab es schon ein Spiel, Paderborn-Heidenheim. Der Südzweite gegen den Norddritten. Paderborn gewinnt mit 5:3. Spiel 1.
Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Remember when I posed the question, will the Alligators be turned away with the bases loaded, threat, and 1 out? Well, the answer was yes. We've seen some excellent throws, some adventurous base running, and both teams so far have made all the plays. It is 1-0 Solingen. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Andre Hughes is going to go and face Josh Peterson, whom he walked the first time around. Kevin Treasel escaping a bases loaded jam. He got a pickoff from Palacios, and then he struck out David Selsemeyer. Here's Josh. Line drive, base hit, left center field. Over to get it is Florian Goetze. Josh with a first pitch single, and he's on. Here comes Mitch Stefan. That is the third hit of the game for the Disciples. Over Daniel Sanchez. Looked like Sanchez thought about leaping, but that ball was by him and well over his head. So Josh with a single, and now Mitch Stefan, who flied out his first time. Well, so let's recap the 3 exciting plays. Eriksson to Ziegler throwing out Steffens in the second inning, ending a rally. Florian Goetze throwing out Richard Klein, ending the Disciples threat in the third, and now Palacios picking off Steffens with the bases loaded in the fourth. Ball 1 to Mitch Stefan, who flied out. 1 ball and no strikes. Stefan showed bunt his first time up, but I don't think he'll be bunting here. He's one of the guys in the lineup that can leave the park. And he rips a line drive, base hit down the right field line. Peterson, almost hit by the line drive, has to hold up and only go to second base as the right fielder Brockmeyer retrieves it and fires it into the infield. So a couple of rockets off the bat of the Disciples, and they're in business with 2 on and nobody out. Josh had to leap out of the way of that pitch. Past the dive of Dustin Hughes. Sasha Brookmeyer, the right fielder, had to race over near the corner to cut that ball off before it went to the corner. So now 2 on, nobody out. Ty Eriksson, who flied out his first time, the hitter. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, and he pulls it back. The pitch is low, ball 1. Klaus Nicolici is the on-deck hitter. The Disciples are not worried about strikeouts against Andre Hughes, even with the lower part of their lineup, and why should they be? Hughes is not a strikeout pitcher. He has not struck out anyone in this game. And Eriksson lays the bunt perfectly down the third base line. It's a beauty. Wolf fields and throws 1 play to first in time. Eriksson making that pretty close, but the sacrifice will move the runners to second and third. There's 1 out. That was perfectly deadened by Ty. Dominic Wolf with only 1 play. And the veteran third baseman calmly makes the play. So now Nicolici could tie the game with a fly ball. Let's see what the Alligators will do with their infield positioning. Amazingly, Hughes has struck out 37 batters in 47 innings, but He is not a strikeout pitcher. And the infielders are going to come in, so a ground ball will not be good enough unless it gets through. The first pitch is a strike. So the Alligators are going to bring the infield up and try to cut down Peterson, who is very slow at the plate. So the Disciples do not have good speed on the bases. Here's the one-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Nicolici went fishing. And now, right as I talk about how Andre Hughes is not a strikeout pitcher, he is way out in front 0-2 on Nicolici. Nicolici angry at himself for chasing that bad curveball down in the dirt. Good block by Selsemeyer on that pitch. Remember, a wild pitch could mean a run. Another threat for the Disciples, the pitch. Line drive, caught with a jump by Dustin Hughes. A little squibber off the end of the bat. Looked like it might be high enough to get over Dustin Hughes, but he actually made the play rather easily, and there are 2 down. Nicolici, good job to take a little off and just try to shoot that ball through the drawn-in infield, but he couldn't quite get it high enough. So now it's going to take a 2-out hit. Infielders can back up and play at normal depth. Bruno Auernhammer, the hitter. Auernhammer singled his first time between Dominic Wolf and Daniel Sanchez. He would love to do the same thing right here. With 2 outs, the runners can go on contact. The pitch. Popped up foul, out of play, strike 1. Hughes coming right after Auernhammer with a fastball. The Disciples had the bases loaded and 1 out last inning, couldn't score. They had a runner on in the second inning. They had runners on second and third with 1 out, now with 2. And Auernhammer takes a breaking ball low and inside. Another good block by Selsemeyer, 1 ball and 1 strike. The fans have come alive. We're only in the 4th inning. It's been an exciting ball game so far. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on second and third. The pitch to Auernhammer. Fastball missed outside, 2-1. Josh Peterson is on first. He's on third. He singled. Stefan is on second. He singled. Both were sacrificed up a base by Ty Erickson. Nicolici hit a soft line drive that was caught by the first baseman Hughes. 2-1 to Auernhammer. The pitch. Pop fly ball to short right field. Racing in Brookmeyer. He pulls up and he has a play and he makes the catch and the inning is over. So the Disciples, with runners on second and third and 1 out, could not get them home as Auernhammer flies to right for the 3rd out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left, no errors. And at the end of 4 complete, Solingen 1, Haar nothing. All right, folks, we are back. We have seen some exciting baseball so far. As we go to the top of the 5th, Solingen leading 1-0. 1 run on 5 hits. No errors for the Alligators. The Disciples with no runs on 4 hits. And it's going to be the top of the order, Florian Gutz, Dominic Wolf, and Tanner Layton. 1, 2, and 3 against Kevin Treasel, who has thrown 81 pitches so far. Just the 1 run. He gave up that run in the 2nd inning. We've seen some great defensive plays on both sides. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive down the left field line. Base hit all the way into the corner. Nicolici with a long run to get it. The ball caroms around, and he grabs it on the warning track. Florian Gutz in easily with a stand-up double on the first pitch. That ball hit very hard. First pitch swinging, Florian Gutz. Let's look at the replay. He was looking for a fastball and got it. Nicolici was way off the line down the line, and you can see Gutz with good speed racing all the way to second base. He was there completely uncontested. So lead off double, and that will bring up Dominic Wolf, who is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. Goetze had been 0 for 2 before that hit. Let's see if Wolf is going to sacrifice him to third. Corner infielders are not really expecting it. And he's not showing bunt. The first pitch breaking ball, and a good one, strike one. Treisel has struck out 6. He's given up 7 hits. That's the first extra base hit for the Alligators. And that's really the first ball that they've hit hard, I could also say. The other ones have been little pop flies and broken bat liners, but they all count. There's the 0-1 to Wolf. Breaking ball. Actually, it was a fastball. Up high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Treisel missing his target on that one. And the Solingen fans begin their chanting. There's the 1 ball and 1 strike pitch to Dominic Wolf with Goetze off second. Popped up. Short left, Tiegler backing up onto the outfield grass makes the call and the catch. And there's 1 out. Florian Goetze has to stay put at second base, and that will bring up Tanner Layton. Layton singled and was stranded at third base in the first inning. Then he struck out looking on a fastball in the third, so he's 1 for 2. And these two fellas, Layton and Sanchez, the next 2 hitters, they are really the most dangerous part of the lineup. The rest of this lineup, of course, is littered with good hitters that can do damage every once in a while, but with these 2 guys, it seems like almost every time they're on base, creating havoc. There's the pitch to Layton. Breaking ball in the dirt, and this one skips away from Palacios, goes all the way to the backstop, and Florian Goetze will take third easily on a wild pitch. Ball 1 the count. And that one, Palacios really had no chance to break that, to block that ball bouncing well in front of home plate. Palacios thought it was going to go one way, and the ball went the other way. So a wild pitch. And interestingly, well, now it looks like the infield for the Disciples is going to come up. Ziegler and Peterson on the left side are playing up. Klein is playing about halfway. I don't know why that would be. It's a 1-0 game. It's a big run out there on third. There's the 1-0 pitch to Layton. Fastball, and it was high. When the count is 2 balls and no strikes. I highly doubt that the Disciples would pitch around Layton only because of his speed threat. And Sanchez, those are the 2 least likely candidates for a double play. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike fastball of the outside corner. Treisel with his 3rd try at a fastball nips the outer plate. And he's got a 2-1 count on Layton. Layton, who was the best batter of the Bundesliga North, winning the official award last year with Solingen. And this is his 3rd year for the Alligators. 2-1. Fly ball to left field and deep. Nicolici going over towards the line, makes the catch. Goetze will come home and score. So it'll be a sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Tanner Layton. The score is now 2-0 Solingen. So give Layton an RBI. There are 2 outs and nobody on. Looked like he got a fastball that was away. And he just put it in the air to left field. Nicolici made a nice running catch, moving to his right. Florian Goetze coming home to score easily on that. So it's 2-0 Solingen in the top of the 5th. And here's Daniel Sanchez, who is 1 for 2. He's singled and flied out. And the breaking ball, first pitch, it is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Two outs, nobody on. There's a fly ball shot off to the right, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sanchez. Sanchez, if I understand this correctly, has won 8 championships in 8 years over his last 8 years of his professional playing in Europe. He's played in Italy. He's also played in Spain, and he won it, of course, last year with the Alligators. He's a good luck charm. 1-1. Grounded slowly on 1 big hop to Josh Peterson. He has it, throws to first. A little bit low, but a nice scoop by Mitch Stefan. Sanchez was hardly running down the line, but he is out 5-3 on the putout. I wonder if he hurt himself on that or if he was just conserving energy. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. No errors. At the end of 4.5, it is Solingen 2, Haar nothing. Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning. Solingen 2 runs and Haar with none. Solingen having scored their 2 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. All of that against Kevin Treasel. Meanwhile, Andre Hughes has allowed no runs on 4 hits and 2 walks. The Disciples have had 2 very good scoring opportunities, and one of them was squelched when Florian Goetze threw out Richard Klein at third base for the 3rd out of the inning before Bruno Auernhammer could score on the same play. So now the number 9 hitter Rufio Schultz leads off, and he takes a ball up high, 1 ball and no strikes. 9-1-2. Rufio, followed by Richard Klein and Jose Palacios. Schultz in his first at-bat flied out. And he hits a big chopper up the third baseline, but it is foul. Well to the left of the line, 1 ball and 1 strike. Andre Hughes has mystified the Disciples. He has been able to make the big pitch, and he's also been helped by his defense, most notably by that throw I've mentioned before by Florian Goetze. Next pitch, pop foul off to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rufio was way out ahead of the previous pitch, and he's way behind that pitch. That tells you all you need to know about Andre Hughes. Changing speeds and working quickly, I might add. The 1-2. Breaking ball, and he tried to catch the outside corner, and it went around the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Selsemeyer trying to hold it there and get the call. Did not get the call. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. That was a beautiful changeup. First strikeout for Hughes. And the first out here in the 5th inning. And Inorbel Marquez is throwing loosely in the bullpen for the Solingen Alligators. Should a rally begin here for the Disciples. Remember, he has been working in tandem with Andre Hughes. That's kind of been the game plan for Norman Eberhardt. Use Hughes and Marquez as a sort of 2-headed monster for game 1, and then just turn it over to Metzger for game 2. Richard Klein takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1, 0-1. Klein grounded out his first time, and then he singled in the 3rd, and he was thrown out at third base in that inning. That ended the inning, and he lines one to right field, tailing away from Brookmeyer. Long run. He'll never get it. It's in there for a base hit, and it goes all the way to the corner. Klein is trying for 2. The throw is not in time. A double. That was a very good throw by Sasha Brookmeyer on a hop to Daniel Sanchez. And Sanchez with a little decoy. He sort of played it very casually, acting as if the throw wasn't coming in, hoping that maybe Klein might hold up and try to go in standing. Klein with a head-first dive is in there, and Patrick Meister called him safe. So there's a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Richard Klein and now Jose Palacios. Palacios 0 for 2. He's fly to left. And he fouls one back over the screen off to the right into the trees. Strike 1. Excuse me, Palacios is 0 for 1 with a walk. I looked at the wrong line. He grounded out his first time. Richard Klein with his second hit in 3 trips. He's now on second base. It is 2-0 Solingen. We're in the bottom of the 5th. 1 strike to Palacios. And now in the dirt, another good block by Selsemeyer. Klein with a good secondary lead deciding to go back to second base. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Remember the wild pitch that Treasel gave up allowed Florian Goetze to move to third. He scored before that fly ball off the bat of Tanner Layton. That wild pitch was the difference between a 1-0 game and a 2-0 game, so that's how important it is when the catcher can get in front of that breaking ball. 1-1. Hit off the end of the bat, squibbed to the right side. A diving play by Leighton to his feet. He throws to first low, but it is dug out by Dustin Hughes. Ball not hit all that hard by Palacios, but he grounds out 4-3. Moving to third on the plate is Richard Klein, and there's a runner at third with 2 outs for Chris Ziegler. Hit off the end of the bat. Leighton got a bad read off the ball. Went into a dive and then went to his feet. His throw was low, but Dustin Hughes scooping it to his backhand side, making the play. And now Leighton, it appears, might have hurt himself. He hurt himself on that dive. He is bending his knees, but he's going to walk it off. Norman Eberhardt had just about gotten to the first baseline, and Leighton signaling to his coach to turn around and head back to the dugout. But I think you're going to have to peel Tanner Leighton out of his uniform to get him off the field in a playoff game. So the batter is now Chris Ziegler. Ziegler has flat out twice. The Disciples need to get this run home. It would be a boost for the morale for sure. Hughes working from the stretch. And the pitch. Line drive over to the jump of Tanner Leighton, a base hit to right field. And Klein scores it. It's 2-1. Tanner Leighton looked like he almost had a chance to catch that ball. I wonder if he might have just mistimed his jump or if it was out of his reach. Doesn't matter now. It's an RBI single for Chris Ziegler, and it is a 2-1 game. Let's take a look at that on the replay. First pitch swinging. Ziegler got an off-speed pitch down and in. Looked like Leighton, it was just out of his reach. And Klein walks home on that. RBI single, 2-1 is the score, and now Josh Peterson. You can bet Hughes doesn't want to give Josh anything good to hit. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike. Here's Selsemeyer's throw. It is not in time. Ziegler threw, stole second base. Aggressive base running. Chris Ziegler taking second base on the strike, and I think he totally caught Selsemeyer by surprise. Selsemeyer went down to a knee and had to pop out of his crouch. His throw was pretty good, but it was on a hop and not in time. And now a base hit could give the Disciples the tie. Although the base is open, you might see Hughes pitch around Peterson. And this one is just low. No sign of pitching around him there. Hughes is trying to make a pitcher's pitch. It is 2-1. The Alligators leading the Disciples. Richard Klein scored a run this inning. And now Josh shooting one down the right field line, but foul. A good approach by Josh. Trying to take that off-speed pitch to the opposite field. Drive home Chris Ziegler, who represents the tying run. Ziegler has good speed. But we have seen there are good arms in the outfield for the Alligators. Florian Gutze has already thrown out one runner at third. Sasha Brookmeyer, although he didn't get Klein at second base, he came up with a good throw from right earlier this inning. 1-2 to Josh Peterson, the pitch from Hughes. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Selsemeyer picks it up. He's going to have to throw to first, and he is able to do so to complete the play, and the inning is over. Andre Hughes with his second strikeout gets Josh Peterson to end the inning. However, the Disciples get one run on 2 hits. They leave one. There were no errors. And at the end of 5, it is Solingen 2, Haar 1.
Und ab 30 € geht's los.
Welcome back to the top of the 6th inning. Solingen Alligators leading the Haar Disciples 2-1. And they are going to send 5, 6, and 7. Nils Hartkopf, Sascha Bruckmeyer, and Dustin Hughes against Kevin Treisel, who has thrown 92 pitches. Treisel going to go to work on Hartkopf, who is 1 for 2. He has struck out looking and singled. The pitch. First pitch strike from Treisel. This is the part of the game where the question begins to arise. How far can Treisel go? It is hot, but he's going to try and go as deep into this game as he can, especially with the score being close. He's their best option, even if he's tired, as he looked like he might have been on that last curveball that was high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike to Hartkopf. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball, 1 and 2. Nils chasing a pitch down and out of the strike zone. Hartkopf, who is 29 years of age, from Solingen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to him. Line drive over at Ziegler's leap and into center field. A base hit for Nils Hartkopf, his 2nd of the game. Good piece of hitting. That was a breaking ball down and away. And Hartkopf just sticking the bat out there and hit a line drive that was high enough to get over Ziegler's well-timed leap and into left center field. Pitch down and away. That was a little bit more up than I thought it was. So there's another tough beginning for Kevin Treisel. He's worked through it so far, giving up just the 2 runs. And that will bring up Sascha Bruckmeyer. The runner on first. 2-1. Of course, the Alligators looking for more. Let's see if Bruckmeyer is going to be up there to bunt. He does not show bunt, and he swings away and hits a liner off of Peterson's glove. Ziegler scrambles to field it, and he's going to have no play. Josh, who was playing in, looked like he had that ball, and it just hit off the heel of his glove and trickled to the shortstop side. I'm not sure if that's going to be scored a hit or an error. At any rate, there are 2 on. And now Treisel really in a jam. Dustin Hughes is the hitter. And Hughes is over 1. He's struck out and he has walked. Peterson normally just about as sure-handed as you can be at third. Misses that line drive, and Hughes shows bunt, and he lays it down the third baseline. Perfect bunt. It rolls and stays fair. Peterson picked it up and stepped on the bag, and Patrick Meister calls safe. That would have been a forced play. Josh is thinking that it was definitely there before Hartkopf made it to the bag, and Mitch Stefan is over to argue, but the call is safe, and everybody's safe, and the bases are loaded. That'll be a bunt single for Hughes. Boy, that was a heads-up play by Peterson because the bunt was absolutely perfect. They were going to have no chance to get him at first, so Peterson decided to wait for it to roll to him. He picked it up and tried to step on third. It's very hard to tell if he did so before Hartkopf made it. Hartkopf did not slide. Very close play, and the call does not go the way of the Disciples, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And I would think the Disciples are going to have no chance, no choice but to play the infield in. So Mitch Stefan is now having a chat with Kevin Treisel on the mound. And Josh is also having a chat with Treisel. I'm guessing that will count as a coach's visit to the mound. Remember, the Disciples do not have a coach that sits in the dugout. They have Josh and Mitch. Mitch is the head coach. So when he goes and talks to Treisel like that, I'm imagining that counts as a mound visit. So 3 singles in the inning. 1 hit hard. Well, 2 hit hard. Bases loaded, and now Sascha Steffens pitches ball 1. Hartkopf lined a single to start the inning. Bruckmeyer lined one off the glove of Peterson, and that actually has been ruled an error. So the first error of the game. So single error, single. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1 ball to count to Sascha Steffens. Pop fly, short right field. This is trouble, and it's going to land fair for a base hit. Everybody will move up. It's a run for Solingen. They lead 3-1. Coming home to score is Nils Hartkopf. Bruckmeyer moves to third. Hughes moves to second. Sascha Steffens with a little pop fly RBI single over first. Eriksson with no chance to get there. And 4 singles has given Solingen a 3-1 lead. And now David Selsemeyer will step to the plate. Now Eriksson was playing deep in right field and had no chance to catch that little pop fly. And it's going to be a pinch hitter. Marcus Stritzek is going to pinch hit. So Selsemeyer's out of the game. Stritzek, who wears number 33, pinch hitting for Selsemeyer. He only batted .159 this year. 11 hits and 69 at bats. 21 strikeouts. Treisel needs a strikeout here. He needs a couple of them. So Norman Eberhardt is going for the kill. It's the 6th inning. Treisel is up over 100 pitches, or right up around 100 pitches. The pitch. Ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. In comes Brockmeyer. The other runner will be held at third. The throw comes into the plate. It is 4-1 Solingen. An RBI single on the first pitch for Marcus Stritzek. 5 straight base runners have reached, 4 singles and an error. And now the top of the order, Florian Gutze. So Marcus Stritzek not wasting any time. There's still nobody out in the inning. The Alligators have hit some balls hard this inning, but they've also hit some balls very weakly, and everything has fallen in. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch to Gutze. Breaking ball, and it's high, ball 1. Gutze has doubled in 3 trips, 1 for 3. Hughes at third, Steffens at second, Stritzek at first. It is 4-1 Solingen. And this one in the dirt, blocked by Palacios, 2-0. And there is some stirring down the right field line, down the left field line rather. It looks like Marcus D. Rolf and Moritz Poliksa heading into the bullpen for the Disciples. Well, Treisel doesn't get out of this inning, and Solingen puts up a crooked number up there. You won't see him come back out for the 6th, I don't think. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Pop foul. Gutze with a good swing and a fastball right down the middle. And the count is 2-1 now. Game 2 is tomorrow at 1 p.m. We will be back on the air about 1:45. We are expecting hot temperatures again for tomorrow. This has been a tight, dramatic ball game until now. Solingen trying to pull away with it. There's the 2-1 to Gutze. Swing and a miss. Gutze coming up empty on a high fastball. The count even, 2-2 now. Treisel trying to reach back and see what he's got left in the tank. Over 100 pitches now. Still nobody out. Only in the 6th inning. Long way to go before this game is over. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Palacios can't find it. The runner's, however, not moving. Now the runner coming to the plate. Shoveled to Treisel, and it's kicked away. And 1 run has scored. Now a 2nd run is going to come to the plate. The throw to Palacios is saved at the last minute. 2 runs have come home to score. It is 6-1. The strikeout, however, is completed. Gutze is out because first base was occupied. However, 2 runs score on a wild pitch. Hughes the first and Steffens the second. And Stritzek went all the way to third on that play. Gutze strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. Let's look at that on the replay. First Gutze chases the breaking ball. Palacios couldn't find it. And at first, Hughes wasn't going to go, but then when he saw Palacios couldn't get there, he decided to go. Then Palacios shoveling it to Treisel. Treisel missing the ball, and then the second runner, Steffens, able to come around. And all the while, Marcus Stritzek rounding the bases, and he's now at third. And Kevin Treasel's day is done. So with Solingen having worked a 6-1 lead, I think you're going to see Bruno Auernheimer come in. I'll let you know what happens in a moment. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. So it is the right-hander Bruno Auernhammer on to pitch. Solingen has scored 4 times in this inning. Only one of those runs, by my count, is unearned. That's Brockmeyer, because he reached via the error. But the others are all earned. Began with a single to Hartkopf. Brockmeyer hit a ball hard, but it went off of Peterson's glove for an E5. And then Hughes dumped a little single to right field. Steffens bounced one. Hit a single as well. And then Stritzek with a pinch hit single. Goods has struck out, but on the pitch, it was a wild pitch. And I wonder if there might have been, there also probably could have been another error on that. I'm going to clear that up right now.
So, Bruno Auernhammer hat sich warm geworfen. Jetzt geht's weiter bei einem Aus. Läufer auf der dritten Base und Dominik Wolf, der Nummer 12 kommt.
So we are back, the top of the 6th, and there was in fact an error that brought home Steffens. He scored on the E2. So 2 errors in the inning. The Disciples had played flawless baseball until now. So the batter, Dominic Wolf, is 0 for 3. Runner on third is Marcus Stritzek. Bruno Auernhammer, the new pitcher. The first pitch over the head of Wolf and spins him around. 1 ball and no strikes. So Treasel goes 5 in the 3rd innings, 10 hits, 4 runs so far, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. He is responsible for the runner on third. Infield is in. It is 6-1 Solingen. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Bruno Auernhammer deals. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cedric Bossel, meanwhile, is in the game in playing center field now. And he goes in for Rufio's spot in the batting order. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Wolf. Stritzek on third. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Palacios again can't find it, but it's right there in the batter's box. A cloud of dust hiding where the baseball is. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Solingen, having scored 4 runs this inning, looking for more. They've got the runner on third, Stritzek. There's only 1 out. Dominic Wolf trying to bring him home. The infield is in. Bruno Auernhammer comes set. In the dirt, and a good block. Palacios sacrificing his body for that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is where the Disciples really were hurt by that ejection of Steinlein in the last game of the season. Lucas Steinlein would have probably been in this game long before Solingen got the rally going. In fact, he might have started this inning when the score was 2-1. Lucas Steinlein was ejected on a play that really none of the players thought was dirty. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a big out. With the runner at third and 1 out. Now the runner is at third with 2 outs. Infield can back up. And Tanner Layton. Lucas Steinlein in Mannheim was a runner on third base with the bases loaded, and Josh Peterson hit a ground ball to the third baseman who threw home for a force play. And Steinlein slid into home plate and was called out and then subsequently ejected by the umpire. And I was not there. I did not see the play, but I have talked to players both from Mannheim and Haar, and they were all bewildered by the call. And that's all I can tell you. Ball 1 to Tanner Layton. But it ends up really costing the Disciples here because this was a 2-1 game in the 6th inning, and they couldn't bring in their best reliever. 1 ball and no strikes to Tanner Layton. This one is low, 2-0. Layton has singled in 3 trips. He has also driven in a run with a sac fly and struck out looking. There are 2 outs. Marcus Stritzek is at third. Line drive, left field, Nicolici right there, one-hands it. And the inning is over. So a good job by Bruno Auernheimer to retire the 2 runners he faces while stranding the runner that he inherited. However, Solingen has taken the air out of this one a little bit as they send 8 men to the plate and score 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 left. There were 2 very costly errors. And at the end of 5.5, it is Solingen 6, Haar 1. Well, we are back, bottom of the 6th inning, and Norman Eberhardt has made a change. The ageless wonder, 40-year-old Inorbal Marquez. He's going to turn 41 on December 11th. Cuban-born, German national, 6'2", 200 pounds. He is going to come on and try to finish this game, and he's going to face Stefan Eriksson and Nicolici. Solingen scored 4 runs in the top of this inning, and they now lead 6-1. I'll give you the complete line on Andre Hughes, who was very good after this. First pitch, inside, ball 1. Hughes pitched 5 innings, gave up, well, I can never read my own handwriting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. There's the 1-0 to Mitch Stefan. Breaking ball, popped them up on the infield. Who's going to get it? Hughes and Leighton, and it is Hughes who makes the call on the catch. 1 out, and here's Ty Eriksson. Well, as I was mentioning, it was a 2-1 game in the 6th inning, and the Disciples hindered because of a call that was made 2 weeks ago. The Disciples tried to appeal to get it overturned, and they were unsuccessful. And now the score is 6-1. Here's a pitch. Eriksson takes a fastball strike. Marquez this year pitched 47 in the 3rd innings, had an ERA of 2.47. Swing and a miss. Eriksson behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2. That one's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marquez has pitched in the Cuban professional leagues. He's pitched in Italy. Pitched a perfect game back in 2008 with 16 strikeouts, which to my knowledge is the only 9-inning perfect game in Bundesliga history. The 1-2 pitch, grounded slowly on a couple hops to Daniel Sanchez, whose throw to first is high, but he's got time, does Hughes, to tag out Eriksson on the way by. And he's out 6-3. Sanchez, a little bit nonchalant, took his time on that one and sort of sidearmed it, almost airmailed it, but Dustin Hughes, who is a very big target over there, went up and got it, and Eriksson not with good speed. was tagged out on the way by. So 2 outs, nobody on, and Klaus Nikolici the hitter. Nikolici is 0 for 2. There's a ball outside. Erickson is now 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Nikolici hit a line drive with runners on second and third that he just couldn't get past the first baseman Hughes. And this pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. If that ball goes over Hughes' head, this entire game could have a different outlook, but it did not. Is the 2-0. Fastball strike. 2-1. Selsemeyer, whose glove has a lot of sand in it, is leaving a cloud of dust every time the ball goes in there. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nikolici with 2 outs and nobody on. The pitch. Fastball strike. 2-2. Marquez, who has actually been working as a coach for the Berlin Flamingos while at the same time playing in the Bundesliga for the Solingen Alligators. 2-2 pitch. This one in the dirt, skips away from Selsemeyer. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned that Marquez threw a perfect game. Michael Torrealba came very close to accomplishing that for Mannheim this year. I think it was with 2 outs in the 9th inning that it was spoiled. Three balls and 2 strikes on Nikolici. Slow curve, strike 3 on the outside corner. Nikolici thought it was outside. He is rung up by Mark Major, and the inning is over. A very quick and efficient 1-2-3 for Inorel Marquez, and at the end of 6, it is Solingen 6, Haar 1.
So, weiter geht's.
So we go to the top of the 7th inning. It's going to be 4, 5, and 6 for the Alligators. Daniel Sanchez, Nils Hartkopf, and Sascha Brockmeyer. Sanchez, who's 1 for 3, singled flat out and grounded out. So Bruno Auernhammer came on and got the final 2 outs in the 6th inning, which closed the book on Kevin Treisel. Treisel goes 5 1/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. He did throw 1 wild pitch, and that was big because it led to one of the runs. That was Florian Goetze scoring in the 5th inning. The first pitch, ball 1. Top of the 7th inning, Solingen with a 4 spot in the last half inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike at the knees. And they have deflated the energy in the ballpark a little bit here, even from their own fans who are normally incessantly loud. I'm sure if this game gets close again, we'll hear from them. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball on a big hop to Josh Peterson. He's going to lob toss to first, and Sanchez again, barely running down the line. He's out 5-3 on the putout. Maybe Sanchez is that much of a fan of Josh Peterson that he knows that Josh's arm is so accurate he's as good as out. So one quick out. Auernhammer retired 3 in a row. And here is Niels Hartkopf, the designated hitter. Hartkopf has singled twice and struck out. Hartkopf started the rally last inning. And the pitch. There's a strike. It is 6:15 p.m. here in Haar. A beautiful day for baseball. A beautiful summer afternoon. A 1 pitch. Breaking ball. This one is low and in the dirt. Well in front of home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Alligators scored a run in the 2nd inning. They scored a run in the 5th and 4 in the 6th. The Disciples scored a run in the 5th. Auernhammer with a 1-1 count on Niels Hartkopf. Working from the stretch. This one is low. Hartkopf, who won the championship with the Alligators in 2006. He also did it in 2007 with Mainz. He's also played for Haar and for Bonn. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball, right field down the line. Long run for Eriksson. That ball's tailing foul and off the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two balls, excuse me, one, what is it, 2 and 2? The scoreboard says 2 and 2. I had 1 and 2 on my scorecard. We'll find out what it is. I think it's 2 and 2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball slowly hit left side. Peterson cuts it off. Throws to first in time. Nice play by Josh. 2 outs. And with 2 outs, nobody on here, Sascha Brockmeyer. Brockmeyer has singled and scored. He's also stolen the base. He has sacrificed. He has reached on an error and scored. So he's been on base 2 out of his 3 plate appearances. First pitch to him, hit hard on the ground. Peterson fields a short hop, throws to first, and Josh will tie a record held by many and throw out all 3 put-outs in the inning. 1, 2, 3, 3 ground balls to Josh Peterson. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left at the end of 6.5, 6-1 Solingen.
So, Freunde, 7 Inning Stretch. Nochmal kurz durchrücken, durchschütteln, denn dann heißt gleich Schlussspurt in diesem Spiel, Offensive der Disciples, und wir versuchen nochmal alles in die Waagschale zu werfen. Denn da ist noch alles drin, Freunde. Mit eurer Unterstützung können die Disciples das Ding hier bestimmt noch drehen. Da bin ich mir ganz sicher. Ja. So, Freunde, auf geht's! Jetzt greift Mo unsere Nummer 7, Bruno Auernhammer!
Top of the 7th inning, and Bruno Auernhammer swings and misses. for strike one. Nothing in one. Marcus Stritzek is in left field. He came in. Well, he entered the game back in the 6th inning. There's a swing and a miss, strike three. Auernhammer goes down on 3 pitches. So I'm confused about something. I apologize if you've been watching and you knew that I'm calling Marcus Stritzek by the wrong name. I thought that he had pinch hit for Selsemeyer, but I guess it was Selsemeyer who got the base hit and RBI back in the 6th inning, and not Stritzek. Stritzek was pinch running for, I'm guessing, Sasha Steffens, or maybe it was Brockmeyer. Anyway, here's Cedric Bossel swinging, missing, strike one. Marquez has thrown 4 straight strikes in this inning. Next one on the way. There's a tapper. It is foul, and there are some thunderbolts occurring to our south, which is in right field. You can see a lot of folks looking that way. Maybe it'll miss us. Nothing in 2 the count on Cedric Bossel, who entered the game when Bruno Auernhammer came in to pitch. Auernhammer came out of center field. Bossel went into center field and goes in DH Rufio Schultz's spot. And he swings and misses. 6 straight strikes and 2 strikeouts for Inorbel Marquez. That's 3 in his 1 2/3 innings. And now the top of the order, Richard Klein. And the pitch, there's a ball. Well, Andre Hughes started and was very good. Without only 6 hits and 1 run. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Richard Klein. Klein was 2 for 3. He singled and doubled. The Disciples had Andre Hughes on the ropes early. He had the bases loaded. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2, 1 and 2. He had the bases loaded and 1 out in the 3rd inning, and Ziegler hit a fly ball to center that was caught for the 2nd out of the inning. And then Florian Gutze threw out Richard Klein at 3rd, and that was a mere second before Auernhammer crossed the plate. It would have meant a run. There's a broken back ground ball left side. Dominic Wolf has to go off of his glove, and he can't make the play. And Klein will be safe. Let's see if that's a hit or an error. I have to think that would be an E5. So here's Palacios. 6 runs on 10 hits for the Alligators, 1 run on 6 hits for the Disciples. By my count, there are 2 errors, but the scoreboard only has 1. So here's Palacios. Palacios 0 for 2 with a walk. The Disciples here in the 7th inning, trying to put something together with 2 outs. Marquez deals. Palacios fouls it off to the right. Strike 1. Runner on first base is Richard Klein. One strike. Marquez steps off. A 1 pitch. That's a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1. Line drive, center field. Gutze coming on, and he makes the catch. The inning is over. Palacios hit the ball pretty hard. Ends up flying out. For the 3rd out, no runs. I don't know if that was ruled a hit or an error. I'm going to call it an error. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. 1 error. At the end of 7, Solingen 6, Haar 1.
So, Freunde, übrigens, morgen Spielbeginn 13 Uhr. Wieder hier bei herrlichstem Baseballwetter. Game 2. Jetzt schauen wir erstmal, dass wir noch eine Chance haben für Game 1 heute. 3 schnelle aus und dann greifen wir nochmal an. 2 Offensivchancen haben die Disciples noch. So, nächster Schlagmann mit der 30, Dustin Hughes.
So we are back for the top of the 8th inning. And there are some ominous clouds coming our way. Hopefully they will miss us. If you hear me go silent for a while, it's going to be because I'm trying to rescue my equipment from a onslaught of rain. Here's the pitch to Hughes. Popped up foul, strike 1. Hughes has singled, walked, and struck out. He has also scored a run. He was in the middle of that 6th inning rally. He scored the 3rd run of the inning. Solingen scoring 4 in that inning. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball pulled foul past Peterson down the 3rd baseline. 0-2. Two strikes on Dustin Hughes, number 7 hitter. And Marcus Stritzek is on deck, so Stritzek coming up. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Auernhammer has retired every batter he's faced. That's 6 in a row. So that's showing the Disciples something, that he can be a dependable reliever. So here's Stritzek. Stritzek came and pinch ran in the 6th inning for Sasha Steffens. And he's up there for his first at bat. So I apologize to David Selsemeyer. Selsemeyer got a base hit and an RBI in his last at bat, and I called him Stritzek the whole time. I apologize. One strike to Stritzek. Breaking ball. Strike 2. So Bruno has provided some relief for the Disciples, but it was too late. By the time he came to the game, it was already 6-1. There's the 0-2. Popped up foul back here. Out of play. Count still no balls and 2 strikes. However, if there's a silver lining in the fact that Steinlein is not the one pitching 4 or 5 innings today, that means he is available for long relief tomorrow should he be needed. Tomorrow will be Gabe Sandurcius versus Christopher Metzger. There's the 0-2. Popped up foul again, off to the right, out of play. Still 0-2 on Marcus Stritzek. Stritzek, who had played previously for the Cologne Cardinals, has played in Solingen since 2013. Made a great catch in the playoffs last year. This one, a breaking ball in the dirt. It bounces off home plate and reaches the backstop on the fly. Stritzek with a check swing, but he did not go around, and actually that was kind of a break for the Disciples, because if Stritzek had been called for strike 3, he would have been able to walk to first base on that. On deck hitter David Selsemeyer over there to retrieve the ball. You see him at the bottom of your screen. And it is starting to rain. So you're going to hear me go silent for a moment. There's a base. Nope, ground ball middle. Grabbed by Klein. Off balance throw. Not in time. I have to go silent for a minute.
Schade, schade. Schönes Play von Richie Klein. So, Freunde, kommt her, hier unterm Sprecherhaus am anderen Platz. Das hört nämlich, wir haben gerade noch mal Wetterradar gecheckt, das Ding zieht unter uns südlich an Ottobrunn vorbei, streift Haar somit nur minimal. Unterm Schlag die Nummer 31, David Selsemeyer.
Soll ich etwas helfen? Willst du was drüber tun oder? Reicht das, oder? Sonst kann man irgendwas drüber hängen oder? Ja, das ist für alles.
Okay, so count is 2 balls and no strikes on Selsemeyer. Marcus Stritzek reached first base. And the pitch, there he goes, swing and a miss. Stolen base for Stritzek, however. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. So it's raining even though it's sunny, but the rain is coming down pretty hard. 1 ball and 1 strike. So we'll see how long this lasts.
Immer noch der David Selsemeyer an der Platte. Bruno Auenhammer auf Mount. Läufer auf 2. Ein aus. Oh, das ist natürlich bitter. Aus auf der ersten Base.
Okay, so while I was in emergency rain mode, what you saw was a strikeout and a throwout at first base of David Selsemeyer. He's out, however, he was out 2-3 for the strikeout, but then Mitch Stefan overthrew third base, and Stritzek will come around and score on an E3. So it is now 7-1 Solingen. And now the top of the order, Florian Goetze. There's a strike. 0-1. Well, somewhere there's a rainbow. That much we know. There are 2 outs and nobody on base. And the pitch, breaking ball, low. 2 balls and no strikes to count. It is 7-1 Solingen. We are in the top of the 8th. There's a high pop-up. This is playable on the infield. Siegler going back, circling under it in shallow left center field, makes the call on the catch, and the inning is over. So Goetze pops out to short. That will end the inning. However, an unearned run, Marcus Stritzek reaching and then scoring on the throwing error by Mitch Stefan. 1 run. Not sure if that was a hit or not. I think it was not a hit. So nobody left on base. There was an error. So at the end of 7.5, it is Solingen 7 and Haar 1.
Freunde, bevor ihr jetzt alle schon nach Hause verschwindet, morgen 13 Uhr Part 2 vom Baseball Playoff Weekend bei den Disciples. Freue mich, euch alle morgen wieder zu sehen. Weiter geht's mit unserer 27, Chris Ziegler. Let's go, Chris.
Well, we're back. It's a bit of a strange scene here. It's still a beautiful sunny day, but there's thunder and lightning. And most of the crowd is huddled under the trees. A lot of folks look like they have headed for the exits. Ziegler trying to run up a bunt, and he misses, ball one. The Disciples, excuse me, strike one. The Disciples need base runners. They trail by 6. But they kept it close, and then the one bad inning. Treasel had run out of gas. There's strike 2. Ziegler not happy about it, nothing in 2. Ziegler ran out of gas in the 6th inning and allowed 4 runs. Bruno Auernhammer has come on and given up 1 unearned runs since then. And Marquez dropping down sidearm, and he yanks that pitch way outside. He goes all the way to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ziegler today is 1 for 3. He is singled and drove in the lone Haar Disciple run. That at the time made it a 2-1 game. It was a big hit with 2 outs. Swing and a miss at a big off-speed breaking ball. Nasty pitch from Marquez, and Ziegler spins himself out of the batter's box and back to the dugout. Strike 1.
Nächster Schlagmann. Und Nummer 27, Mr. Josh Peterson.
So now Josh Peterson, he was pitched around his first time and walked, and then he singled solidly in the 4th. Then he struck out with runners on 2nd and 3rd in the 5th. And the pitch is away, ball 1. Peterson, the number 4 hitter, with Mitch Stefan, the number 5 hitter, waiting on deck. And the rain coming down fairly steadily. There's a ground ball to the third baseman. Wolf from deep third. He throws to first in time. And there are 2 down.
Und aus Nummer 2 gegen die Disciples. Nächster Schlag von unserer 97, Mitch Stefan.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Mitch Stefan. Solingen in control of this one. They lead 7-1 behind the tandem 2-headed pitching monster of Andre Hughes and Inorbel Marquez. And Stefan takes a strike. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Alligators. 1 run on 6 hits for the Disciples. Alligators have 1 error. That was a swing and a miss. Strike 2. On the scoreboard it says 2 errors for the Disciples, but by my count they have 4. We'll see what comes up in the official score later. 0-2 to Mitch Stefan with 2 outs. The pitch. Broken bat. Ground ball to the right of the mound. Leighton over to get it. Throws to first in time. And Mitch Stefan going to be a little bit warmer this winter with an extra piece of firewood. 4-3 on the putout. We're done with 8. It is Solingen 7, Haar 1.
Der Winter wird warm auf jeden Fall.
Ja, Freunde, schon hat der Regen wieder aufgehört. Meldet das wieder. So, jetzt geht's aber weiter mit den
So we go to the
Solingen Alligators. Dominik?
top of the 9th inning. Bruno Auernheimer has done a fantastic job. 2 2/3 innings, he only allowed 1 hit and 1 unearned run. He has walked no one and struck out 3. He has not been helped by the defense. Only 2 errors on the scoreboard, but by my count there are 4 for the Disciples. Solingen with a 7-1 lead, and here's Dominic Wolf. First pitch inside, ball 1. One 0. Ball popped up, playable on the infield, and Auernheimer is going to make the catch himself. Well, Bruno, who started the game in center field, is now standing in the center of the diamond and figured, why not? Normally you don't let the pitcher make the catch on a pop-up, but if your pitcher is also a center fielder, I guess you do. So Wolf pops out to the pitcher. 1 out, and now Tanner Layton. It's the 9th inning. This was a 2-1 ball game until the 6th inning. And remember, the Disciples who are hindered because they cannot go to their bullpen as soon as they would have wanted to. They had to stick with Kevin Treasel a little longer than they probably should have, and he ended up getting tired and giving up 4 runs. First pitch was low to Layton, ball 1. A couple of things go one way or the other, and this is a completely different ball game. 2 balls and no strikes now to Layton. Layton singled, struck out, hit a sac fly for an RBI, and flew out. And there's ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to count. It's still raining and it's still sunny. Those 2 things have not changed. And they have also not canceled each other out. 3-0 on Layton. And ball 4. Auernheimer, disgusted that he didn't get at least one of those called a strike, but they were all away, and that's the first walk that Auernheimer has issued since entering the game. Auernheimer came in with a runner on 3rd and 1 out and retired the next 2 hitters without allowing the run to score. So now Daniel Sanchez with Layton on first. Sanchez a swing and a miss at high fastball, 0-1. There's a line drive to right field. Erickson moving a few steps to his left and now in, and he makes a shoestring catch, and Layton was way around second base. He'll be doubled off. And that will end the inning. Fly ball to right field, and Layton, who I'm not sure if he was off with the pitch. I don't think he was. Maybe he forgot how many outs there were. I think he forgot how many outs there were. You see, he's just jogging around the bases, and then he realizes he's going to be doubled off. So Layton is doubled off for out number 3. Daniel Sanchez flies out to the right fielder, Erickson. No runs, no hits, nobody left, no errors. At the end of 8.5, this is the last chance for the Disciples. They trail by 6. It is 7-1 Solingen.
So, für alle, die es nicht mehr schaffen wollen, 13 Uhr geht's weiter, nicht vergessen.
Weiter geht's mit unserer Nummer 16, unserem Designated Beer-Banner, tut für uns Ty Erickson!
So back to the bottom of the ninth inning, Ty Erickson, Klaus Nicolici, and Bruno Auernhammer. 6, 7, and 8 against Norbel Marquez. First pitch, high for a ball. Marquez, in 3 innings, has allowed nothing. 4 strikeouts. He has been perfect. Well, there was an error. This ball hit in the air to center field, and Florian Goetze makes the catch. 1 out. Sounded like Erickson broke his bat.
Weiter geht's.
And Marquez
99. Klaus Nicolici.
has retired all but 1 batter he faced. That was Richard Klein, who reached on an error. So here is Klaus Nicolici. Breaking ball low, 1 ball, no strikes. Alligators 2 outs away from taking a 1-0 lead in a best-of-5 series. Game 2 tomorrow at 1 p.m. There's a fastball strike, 1-1 the count. Nicolici today is 0 for 3. Grounded out, hit a soft line drive to the first baseman, and now time is called. And Mark Major is going to pull everybody off the field because of impending weather. So with 1 out in the 9th inning, we're going to have a rain delay. There was some lightning apparently off to the right, so we're going to have a little break, and I'm going to use that time to shore up my equipment. So there is 1 out in the 9th inning, nobody on base, a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Klaus Nicolici, and we're going to have a rain delay. We'll be right back.
So Freunde, sollte mein Internet hier irgendwann mal sich jeweils wieder aufbauen, würde ich euch auch ein paar Ergebnisse aus den anderen Stadien mitteilen, aber das dauert. Ansonsten kann ich euch nur raten, holt euch noch eine halbe, die ist hier ganz sicher billiger wie in jedem Biergarten auf der Welt und der Gurt Augustiner ist es auch. Für die, die es jetzt packen wollen, morgen 13 Uhr. Bundesliga Baseball Playoffs Teil 2 mit dem Aufeinandertreffen der amerikanischen Werfer auf unserer Seite. Gabe St. Bei Solingen wird es wohl Chris Metzger sein. Und da hat sich dann auch endlich mal die Seite aufgebaut. Ich gebe euch Ergebnisse von den anderen Stadien. Also, wir fangen natürlich mit den Playdowns an. Da spielt gerade Dortmund in Hannover. Hannover führt 10:2. Im zweiten Spiel Bad Homburg gegen Stuttgart. Die Bad Homburg haben das erste gewonnen. Im zweiten führt Stuttgart 13:4 im 8. Inning. Dann zweites Spiel Tübingen. Das erste hat die Mannheimer 13:0 gewonnen. Im zweiten führen sie 11:0. Die armen Tübinger. Dann Playoffs. Jetzt wird spannend. Vorhin schon gesagt, Paderborn gegen Heidenheim 5:3. Wir haben ein zweites Ergebnis. Die Legionäre, Südmeister, schlagen Hamburg gar nicht mal so deutlich mit 4:0. Und in Mainz gegen Bonn, da gibt es extra Innings, anscheinend kein Gewitter. 3:3 steht es da am 10. zweiten Spiele ja morgen alle. Zurück in Haar, da schaut es momentan noch nicht so gut aus. 7:1 für Solingen bei einem Aus, aber nicht, also man kann ja nicht sagen, dass das hier schon vorbei wäre. Da kommt noch was. Wenn wir denn mal weiterspielen. Aber was können wir denn tun? Die armen Umpire gehen ja auch nur den Regeln nach und da steht es halt nicht. Wenn es blitzt, blitzt und dann muss man das Feld. Übrigens, wenn ihr Lust habt, irgendwie im Baseball aktiv zu sein, im Mob spielen oder auch in der Organisation, wir haben erstens noch jede Menge Plätze in unserer Mannschaft und zweitens brauchen wir immer helfende Hände. Das heißt, jeder, der uns da ein bisschen aktiv unterstützen möchte, jederzeit gerne, kommt einfach vorbei. Und, wir haben den passenden Job für euch. Jetzt geht's weiter. Wer schlägt denn bei uns? Ah, genau, der Klaus. Dazu nicht.
Well, it looks like the rain delay is going to end in a few minutes. There was a brief moment of very threatening skies, and it looks like it might pass a little bit to our south. It is dark behind me, but out in center field, you can see that it's still blue sky. Of course, with hot, high temperatures like what we've had today and high humidity, there's always the chance that something like this could form. There was a 0% chance in the forecast. And even so, the rains did come. It did rain. There was one bolt of lightning, and that was the event that caused Mark Major to, in my opinion, wisely just take everybody off the field. There's no reason to be standing out there when there's lightning, even if there's one out in the 9th inning of a 6-run game. So rain delay, I didn't time it. I'm guessing it was about 10 minutes, but it looks like it's about to come to an end. And Nicolici's going to come up there. There's one out, nobody on base. Nicolici had a 1-ball and 1-strike count. It is 7-1 Solingen. Don't forget, game 2 tomorrow. So here we go. The rain delay is over. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Nicolici. Ball 2, low. Game 2 tomorrow at noon. It should be a dandy of a pitching matchup. The right-hander Christopher Metzger for Solingen and the left-hander Gabe Sandersius for Haar, who will be able to make full use of their bullpen. A beautiful curveball drops in, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nicolici was unhappy about that, but that pitch was right in there. Let's take a look at that replay. Yeah, that's a beautiful pitch. I think Nicolici might have thought it was low, but you can see it's a strike. 2-2 the count with 1 out, nobody on base. Marquez trying to end the game. Klaus calling time. Well, the Disciples going to try and come back tomorrow. Last year they lost game 1 by a score of 10-9, and they won game 2 7-3, and then they lost the final 2 in Solingen. Here's the pitch. This one low. Full count to Nicolici now. There are a few more rumbles of thunder behind me. Three and 2, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning, Solingen with a 7-1 lead. This was a close game until the 6th inning. This one fouled to the screen. It was 2-1. And there were several exciting plays on the base paths in the first 4 innings. Florian Götze throwing out Richard Klein at third for the third out of the inning, seconds before Auernheimer could score to tie the game, therefore nullifying the run. Here's the 3-2, swing and a miss for the second out. And also for the Disciples, Ty Eriksson with a throw to Ziegler, whose relay throw to third cut down Sasha Steffens. That ended the second inning. That was after Solingen had already scored a run. And then also Palacios picking Steffens off the base with the bases loaded and 1 out. I think that was in the third inning, if I remember correctly. So now anyway, 2 down, and Bruno Auernheimer, the last man standing, between Inorbel Marquez and the end of the ball game, and a 1-0 lead for the Alligators. Strike 1 on the first pitch. A few more rumbles. Fastball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So while the Disciples had a thin bullpen today, the Alligators might have a thin one tomorrow. 1-2 as Auernheimer cuts and misses. Of course, Metzger pretty much throws a complete game almost every time out there. But if he doesn't, they would have Niels Hartkopf, and that's about it. Auernheimer asking for time. Ramirez lobs the ball in there anyway. There are 2 outs in the 9th inning. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bruno Auernheimer. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the hole, and a nice diving stop by Wolf. He spins and throws to first, and it is scooped nicely by Hughes. The throw is in time, and the game is over. Solingen wins by a score of 7-1, a 1-2-3 inning. Inorbel Marquez, in 4 complete innings of relief, allowed only 1 base runner, and that was on an error by the third baseman. As far as I know, it might have been scored a hit. He struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the game is over. Solingen wins by a score of 7-1. We will be back here tomorrow for Game 2 at 1 p.m. We'll see you then. Thanks a lot. My name's Tim Collins. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. See you tomorrow.